Indeed, I am here. Big clue. I was in Robert's game just a few moments ago. Saw you in there, and here I am. I've had slept most of the day, but it is. We're back. We're back. We're back. Good to see you, my friend. So we're gonna do as the tin says. Just showing you guys where I am on our next project, that 19th century dead ball tournament, and then we'll continue with some Ned McGreevy baseball. So Ned himself giving an approving smile. And there's Robbie Wartburg. Robbie, you've been beaten to the ballpark first twice now. But good to see you, Robbie. So I saw Robbie did some baseball last night, so that's cool. Glad to see that, Robbie. All right. So when last we met, which was just yesterday, we were we finished picking our teams the other night, and then we put them in, and then I said I had to do the 19th century. 19th century's done. So those teams are in there now, and I've also created the seedings for round one. So we have 16 teams. So I'll show you guys what's going on. Hopefully we have no duplications. So I'd like to keep this at 16 and not have to drop somebody out and redo everything. So going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, ladies' night. Big Clue says when Robbie enters the building, he hears John Levitt's rendition of Ladies' Night playing. I'm doing all right, Robbie. Just getting ready for a long, weird week. As I've explained to you guys, my hours are all over the place. So tomorrow I'm in at 8 in the morning. But then Tuesday I'm not in until 11 in the morning, which means I can do more baseball. And then Wednesday, Thursday, I have 3 draconian days here. But Thursday night, hope to do some baseball because Thursday morning I've got to be there at 7 in the morning. But then Friday afternoon, don't have to be there till 3 in the afternoon. And then Saturday and Sunday actually off. So the rare weekend off. Can't wait for that. And off projects. I haven't started the new channel yet. That's soon, but I'm working on a book idea that's coming together pretty well. It's going to be a book like sort of juvenile literature about a group of dogs and a cat that are planning an escape from an animal shelter. So there's an Irish setter, there's an Italian dog there. There's a old English bulldog named Winston who was he was in the First World War. We've got Elsie the cat who is she's kind of like a Cockney fishwife type, and then we have Skipper who's from Jamaica. So I'm bringing all these animals in and giving them obviously it's anthropomorphic. So hopefully it'll be fun. It's coming together, um, and working on illustrations for that because books for children and juveniles is a $20 billion a year industry. It's crazy. And if I can get a couple things published first through ebook, and then there's another novel I've been working on for a number of years called Year of the Dragons, which hopefully I can make happen. But baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. So yeah. So but the animal book that I'm writing, I'm doing all the illustrations for it as well. So I already have Finn, our Irish protagonist. He's in there, and they're all going to speak like with. So Finn's going to have the Irish brogue and all that kind of stuff. So it should be cool. Hopefully, so Skipper has the cool Jamaican voice, and hopefully I'm not going to get called out if people will actually read the book as being a racist, because I can just answer my girlfriend's half Jamaican. So there we go. And she's half Cuban, so she'll kick their arses and then do some juju on them, whatever. So that's what I'm doing and having fun with it. And but the main thing has been just hanging out with you guys and doing some baseball. So Ned, go draw yourself a pint, and we'll see you next time, mate. All right, so here are our teams. So since this is not going to be a season, I haven't worried about evening up the leagues or anything like that. It doesn't matter. Set it up. So there's our playoff bracket button that appears. We can still play. We're going to play a couple exhibition games and stuff, but let you guys see the seedings here really quickly. So that was fun doing this. I was setting it up. I'm like, 15 teams. There's a team we were missing, and it was the 1912 Senators. So everybody's in. This won't start until the Ned McGreevy League's over. We might do a couple exhibition games. We'll just pick 2 teams and just play with them. But so round one's going to be best of three, round two best of five, round three best of seven, and round four best of seven. I considered making round three best of five, but I think seven is good. So it's going to be three, five, seven, and seven. Yep, the seeding of the Corn League. See that? Yeah. Well, so back to talk about compassionate. So I'm writing this because I used to do animal rehabilitation and I worked as paid staff in an animal shelter. It is at the same time one of the most rewarding jobs you can do, and also one of the most heart-wrenching, soul-ripping jobs you can ever do as well. And it's going to be. I always like to say I want to write this book for children and intelligent adults. So, borrowing that line from a great Czech poet who wrote this brilliant poem about the Holocaust, which I'll do on my other channel. But it's the protagonist in the poem is actually a wolf, but it's about the Holocaust, and the wolf is not the Nazi, believe it or not. And it's a beautiful, beautiful poem. Um, but I thought, I think it'd be really nice if people had a little bit more of an education about what goes on inside a lot of animal shelters. And this is a big one. Wasn't some like little roadside, um, animal shelter. It had a complete hospital, clinic, the whole thing, and I had to take part in euthanasias and stuff like that, and that was hard for reasons that. So it's trying to strike the balance in this thing, and I'm looking for an editor. So it'd be nice for somebody to kind of give it a read as it develops. Um, so hopefully maybe I can prevail upon Big Clue and a couple of you other guys to give it a read through. And I thought it would be really nice to do something like this. It's going to be funny in parts, but it's ultimately a serious novel. So hopefully that will come to fruition as I continue to work on it. Did some more work on it tonight, having Elsie doing some nice poetry as a Cockney, telling about her trip up to Northwest England from London. She made a trip to Liverpool, and there's a cute little story there. And whatever, I don't know what it's going to turn out to be, but I'm having fun seeing it kind of develop. Anyhow, so so the teams in this thing right now is pretty good. The way the seedings are done, I'm not going to change them. The In the first round, one of the huge games is going to be the 1911 A's and the 1909 Pirates. That is going to be tough. Those two teams. 1915 Philadelphia Phillies will begin round one against the 1904 New York Giants, and I've already talked about Philadelphia Pittsburgh. Um, then we also have the 1914 Boston Braves will be facing off against the 1907 Chicago Cubs. The 1912 Boston Red Sox will begin round one against the 1907 Tigers. The 1912 Washington Senators will face the 1919 Cincinnati Reds. The 1885 Chicago White Stockings um, will square off against the 1899 Brooklyn Superbas. The 1894 Baltimore Orioles begin the tournament against the 1904 New York Highlanders. And finally, the 1884 Providence Grays against the hitless wonder 1906 Chicago White Sox. So, looking forward, yeah, I don't mind red ink at all, actually. It's very near and dear to my heart, my friend. So, very, very, yeah, we got some good matchups. Um, I mean, obviously, being a Pirate fan, I'd like to see. I mean, the Pirates. If you look at, we'll close this out, and you can see if this was as a season, this were they rank. So, Pittsburgh in the season finished 3 games ahead of the Cubs. But you can see down here the two sort of underdogs, the 1915 Philadelphia Phillies, but underdogs with a 90 and 62 record. So I mean, these aren't slouch teams. Now you'll notice on these the few of the teams here, it's just 87 wins and 25 losses. But bring that into a modern season. So the Chicago White Stockings definitely going to be a power in this. But also the 1912 Washington Senators. They're the only team in here, a city that wasn't represented from this time period that as far as dead ball goes. And so I decided they were a bit better in 1912 than they were in 1913, but they're the only team that didn't finish in first place. Um, Everybody else did. So, but I don't think that's going to matter. My historic 16 tournament that I did, and out of the park baseball, um, there were just outcomes that I didn't predict. And the fun thing about as I've warmed up to tournaments is that you kind of get, I don't know, you kind of get that playoff drama all the way through. And this would take forever. There's 16 teams here, so this would take a while to do as a season, and I really might be something to revisit down the line. Or later in the year, this could be Ned McGreevy Part 2, where I release all of these players into a player pool and redraft them onto wherever. There's so many things to do. So this is the KCCL, the Ken Castro Corn League. So that's the next step, and I'm talking about progress on this, is I have to go through and assign ballparks. I have to make sure there are no duplicate players. And if there are, obviously, then I have to favor teams that didn't visit the postseason very much. So specifically, the Washington squad and the Philadelphia Phillies, because the Phillies only made it to the World Series and finished first only one time in the dead ball era. So if there's a duplicate on another team, then that team has to go and Philadelphia would stay. Same with, let's say there's a duplicate, whatever, the Senators will stay because my only other choice would be the 1913 Senators because they don't return to the postseason until 1924 and they won their first series. And we're not doing any 1920s baseball in this league. And then the next year they go to the World Series again and lose to the Pirates. So that's where we are. I have to assign ballparks. I was thinking about creating logos, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I'll just use the default logos in the game or something. It would be fun to do some fancy logos. The other thing, since Steve Tate kind of seems to be on hold with, I mean, he sent me the Negro League files. I really don't want to. They're his, so I don't want to play them on this channel without his go-ahead. So this week I'm going to be ponying up the money to get the all-time top 20 Negro League baseball teams from DK Sports, and we'll play around with those. And I don't know that we'll get an all-star game in. Let me see. So this is Sunday. I would have to actually order this by Tuesday. So Tuesday night would have to be a Negro League game just to get something in at the end of Black History Month. So we will do an all-star game. Unfortunately, we're not going to get that in, I don't think, before the end of February. So that's where we are. But yeah, there's some great teams in here. I mean, these 1912 Boston Red Sox are insane. Just such a crazy powerful team. But the one that's interesting, so if you look at these batting averages here, um, right? So you've got Tris Speaker 383, Hendrickson at 321, Larry Gardner at 315, Marty Krug at 308. So we're going to be seeing new players, by the way, that we haven't seen in the Ned McGreevy League, which is really cool. And some we have seen, of course. We have Duffy Lewis in there. We got Jake Stahl. But you can see, right, there's some good hitters. I mean, their lowest hitters, they have some 200 hitters, which really didn't see a lot of playing time. But the hitless wonders, the 1906 Chicago White Sox, right? And I've got to change that Fenway because that's the Fenway that comes with the game, and it's like the worst. Anyhow, look at the batting averages for these. So these are the hitless wonders, right? You've got Lee Quillen hitting 333. Then it just goes down from there. Um, Frank Isbell, Babe Town, these guys are hitting in the high, right in the 270s, and then it jumps into your hitters into the 250s. And they took on a very powerful 1906 Chicago Cubs team, and it was expected the hitless wonders weren't even going to survive. They won that World Series, and key to that World Series was this guy right here, Ed Walsh. Ed Walsh, key to their whole season. 1.8 earned run average. Doc White at 1.52. Nick Altrock had a good season in 1906. 2.06 earned run average. Frank Owen at 2.33. Pitching, excellent defense. Um, really, really fun stuff. I can't wait to get this one started. And this will actually be a more accurate Ned McGreevy league in a way because we're going to have enough players to redraft down the line if we want to revisit it. And we're going to see players we haven't seen before. As I go through here, there's a ton of players in here, and very good players that are not in the Ned McGreevy League. I mean, we look at our, one of the powers here, the Pittsburgh Pirates, and nobody drafted Alan Storkey, um, Jap Barbeau. I hate to use that name, but there you go. Who's a pretty decent at defense, but so it's going to be a lot of fun to just see how this all kind of plays out. But at least nobody will be able to draft Hannes Wagner during this project, so that's nice. All right, Aaron Reed. So I will just ask you yes or no. Did it work? Yes or no is all I want to know. So World's Worst Gamer says, "Oh God, 1800s baseball in action PC disaster waiting to happen." Well, I don't know. I mean, Providence is still in the running now. Guaranteed. That being said, yeah, there are dead ball players there, but the game seems to adjust to the 19th century. Now, if this was 1870s players, I would totally agree with you. This game isn't set up to handle. I mean, I don't think any game can really do 1870s baseball. People try to do it in out of the park baseball, but 1870s is really. I mean, you go back to the National Association, you had one pitcher, and it's the game is still going to treat pitchers now, right? Treat those pitchers the same way in 1871 as they would in 1971, and that just wasn't the case. In the 1870s, the pitcher was probably the least important defensive position, right? So that does make 1800s a challenge. We'll see whether it's a disaster or not. I don't know. We're going to normalize this again to 1900, just like we did with Ned McGreevy, to give the 19th century players a bit more pop in the bats, certainly. So we'll see. It'll be fun, but that's for later. Still a lot of work here. Not all the ballparks are assigned. If I can find some logos, I might do some, but um, I don't know that I'm going to actually create them. That's just a crazy amount of work for a project that's not going to last as long. So Aaron Reese says yes. All right. So Robbie, I'll go back and we'll do this again. So what it's going to be, Robbie, is round one is a best of three, round two best of five, round three best of seven, and round four the final two teams will meet in a best of seven. So that's how it's going to work. But the mistake I made in my historic 16 tournament in out of the park baseball is I made each round best of seven, which took like a long time. So this is more like the way it's done now, divisional series at three, and then right or however it is, and then 5, 7, and 7. However, so I just want to do it that way as opposed to everything best of 7. That was too much. And I also because I wanted to make it fair for the 19th century teams who didn't have as large a rotation even as the dead ball teams did. So that was my decision, but it was fun to get this all started. It's gonna be ready soon. Can't wait. Can't wait. I think it's gonna be fun. I'd like to try to find a picture of Messer Field. And if Clinton Parks is ever around, maybe I'll ask him. That was the home park for Providence. And if I can't find it, which I'm doubting that, but who knows? Then I'll just put them in South End grounds again and whatever. Huntington Avenue grounds, I mean. All right. Yeah, I think it is going to be fun, Robbie. Okay, so evening to MV, and to World's Worst Gamer, to Aaron Reed, Robbie Wartberg, and Big Clue. Hopefully Ken Castro shows up tonight. Now let's switch over to our other league. I don't know if you guys have any other questions about this one. So these teams were all picked by almost everybody in here. that's in here tonight, and then plus a few others that we don't have with us. So these were not teams that I picked out of a hat. Um, in fact, I might have only picked one of these teams. So everybody contributed. We had some polls and everything like that. It was fun. Um, we only had one team that had to be knocked out, and that was the 1917 White Sox, and that's thanks to Eddie Collins because he was on the 1917 White Sox, but he was also in the 1911 Philadelphia Athletics. So we did a poll, and people preferred to keep the Athletics in. So, again with the White Sox, if we would have gone to 1919, it would have been the same issue. So decided to go with the 1906 Hitless Wonders. Think it'll be fun. So when you get franchises like the White Sox, the Phillies, and I'm talking earlier baseball, so let's say pre-World War II, those teams are a little tougher because they didn't have a lot of strong teams. Let's be honest. I mean, the Phillies really came on in the 70s and 80s, you know, but the Pirates, were powerful in the early days. The Cubs, the Tigers, the Giants, the Red Sox, right? Virtually all these other teams. Brooklyn comes into its own a little bit later. They had only one dead ball postseason appearance, and that was 1916. And of course, they didn't win the World Series. They didn't win until 1955. So Brooklyn really comes into its own later too. But there's still some decent Brooklyn teams. Um, so these are harder to do with, and I should say Philadelphia Phillies, but even the Philadelphia Athletics, right? They made what, six postseason appearances? Seven, eight, seven, seven. So there's more to pick from. So it could be fun. Hey, hey, hey! There he is, RGO Network, Cornflakes League with the Beatles eternally. And he says, "I hope you love me, do." Yes, that counts. So Robert's just finishing up a good game. I'm not going to spoil it for us. Good game. 1988 replay, Toronto Blue Jays, Minnesota Twins. I like both of those teams, so I really wasn't rooting for either. Robert, I wanted to ask you when I was in there, are my Bucks still in second place? So, yeah. Big Clues has finished just twice in their first 93 seasons, least successful of the 8 older National League teams. That's absolutely accurate, Big Clue, which is what makes these really, really, these kinds of mixed leagues are really dependent on teams like the Philadelphia Phillies and the Washington Senators. So that's why I'm hoping the next thing is to go through and look for player duplication, and I'm hoping I don't find any. And again, if they do, I'm always going to find in favor of the Philadelphia Phillies and the Washington Senators. Um, because one of the other more successful franchises, it's easier enough to start switching out. But I think we'll be all right. I think we'll be all right. Yeah, those 1980. Okay, so the Pirates still in second. Good. In Robert's league. Um, nice, 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 nice. And yeah, I do love those Jays teams. But you know what? I mean, I like the Twins teams too. So I was just watching Robert's game tonight, not rooting for either team. I like both of those squads. Both Toronto, and I know that's killing Robbie for me to say I like the Blue Jays, but I like them, and I like the Twins. I think they're both excellent franchises. So Robert has tomorrow. I forget if it's Padres at Reds or Reds at Padres, but that's tomorrow night, and that's a good game. Both of those teams playing tough. Jeez, I gotta quit smoking. Anyhow, both of those teams playing tough. And Robert's 1988 replay on Inside Pitch Baseball. It's really cool. So, oh no, so what I was talking about, Big Clue, is just in our Ned McGreevy league, I'm looking through and seeing there's a lot of players good players that weren't drafted, or decent players even. So Nick Altrock is not on anybody's team in Ned McGreevy. So after this tournament, if we would do a part two with community or channel member managers, I'm thinking about releasing all these players into a draft pool because there's 16 teams to choose from, and from all damn good teams. I mean, again, when you look at these teams, I mean, Philadelphia, the 1950, I mean, they had a 90 and 62 record. and Washington with 91-61. That's not too shabby, but there are scary teams in here. The 1909 Pirate Squad, these Cubs, the Giants, the 1912 Red Sox, these 1911 Philadelphia A's. Those are five scary teams. Then you get down to the next tier. I mean, you got the 1914 the Boston Braves, who were July 4th, they were in last place. They ended up winning the World Series. And whether Mr. Stallings got lucky or not, they won. It's so fun stuff. Robbie says Toronto yuck. Corn League, better be a Cobb in there. Ty Cobb is in there. Big Clue says count him in on any draft league. All right, so we're going to switch over now to the Ned McGreevy League. So it's really enough about this one right now. It's the only thing it's ready to do is play exhibitions. So, but even that I have to check because like 1911. So we could play an exhibition like against the 1911 Philadelphia A's because Shibe Park is already done and assigned. And there's the culprit, Eddie Collins. Eddie Collins. He kept the 1917 White Sox out. A bit better team actually than the more famous 1919 Sox. But there's Rube Oldring. Rube Oldring is not on anybody's team, and this guy was a pretty damn good player. 297 average in 1911 for Rube Oldring, and he is a favorite of Chris Delaware, who's now called Older Slower Board Gamer or something. I don't think anybody has Stuffy McGinnis. 321 average. That's pretty damn respectable. Jack Barry didn't make anybody's team. He's a pretty good defensive shortstop. Briss Lord, 310 average. I don't think I think somebody has Danny Murphy, but anyhow, let's switch now to Ned McGreevy. You can see I've been busy. All right, there we go. Let's see what we have coming up. No, nobody has teams assigned. If you want to have a horse in the race, the idea is that, and maybe we can get Robert in here some night. It would be a lot of fun to have him sort of guest manage a team, pick a team that he likes, manage. I know he's a Mets fan, but we'd have to find somebody older, right? An older team, right? There were no Mets back then. But it'd be fun. It'd just be really fun to everybody's take a team every once in a while and just manage one. So nobody's assigned teams in the tournament. It's just whoever feels like managing that night. If you want to manage, whether it's the visiting team or home team, you can do it. If we can get somebody on mic with me and you want to do it that way and run some commentary, I like community involvement, so we'll do it. All right, so we have tonight another Philadelphia Providence game, and this is pretty important as so Providence in possession of third place, 7 games back of Manchester. Cleveland still clinging to second place. They're just a game up on Providence. Manchester pretty much has this locked up for home team advantage in our 3-game World Series. Cleveland is 2 from elimination, and Providence 1. But again, that's just for home team honors, right? Mathematically, nobody's going to catch Manchester at this point. It's just not going to happen. So Philadelphia is tied with Butler for 4th place. They're at 73 and 70. Bellingham still an outside horse in this at 503. Then the other 4 teams, Liverpool, Carolina, Arsenal, St. Louis, I really don't give those teams any chance. Liverpool just not holding it up this time. So let us do this. Philadelphia, Providence. Cleveland to Carolina is a possibility. We're definitely going to do Philadelphia at Providence, and then we'll do our autoplay of the other leagues since I don't have time, unfortunately, I don't think, to do a doubleheader unless this game goes quickly. So thanks, guys, for coming in. Roll up a game, pull up a chair, pop a beverage, whatever. And thanks for hanging out. And if you can't stay, I thank you for coming in at least for a bit. Hey, Providence's home team. And let's do it. Let's go. All right, so it's going to be Jeff Tesoro taking the mound for Philadelphia, and Providence, we're going to load their lineup versus right. And there we go. And then we just need them a pitcher, and we're ready to go. So with Ken's team, there's been so much usage. Um, he's really been hitting his bullpen hard. But it looks like it's gonna be old Haas Radborn. The only pitcher who hasn't worked is George Bradley. Buck O'Brien was a great surprise for cousin Ken the other night in that win. O'Brien, and I need to go to replay stats here. Buck O'Brien, 3-1 on the season. He only made 2 starts, so he's in here as a spot starter, and thank goodness, cousin Ken hitting it like crazy. So it's gonna be old Haas Radborn tonight, which should make Ken happy, whether he's here or not. Hopefully he's in because he manages aggressively, and it's fun to watch him. All right, let us get to Huntington Avenue grounds for this game between the Philadelphia Quakers and the Providence Liberty Tree. Oh, so Bruce Lord was a Moyle in the offseason. Well, there you go. And the briefs and all that. Okay, anyhow, welcome to Huntington Avenue grounds for today's game between Philadelphia and Providence. Jeff Tesreau will get the start for the Quakers. He's 28 starts in the year, and he's 13-14 with an earned run average of 2.48. This will be his 3rd start against Providence, and he's 1-0 with a 2.66 earned run average against them. Opposing him will be old Haas Radborn for Providence. 51 starts in the year, and he is 27-23 with an earned run average of 2.45 overall. This will be his 7th start against Philadelphia, and he is 2-3 with a 3.18 earned run average against them. Chief Myers is on a 10-game hitting streak for the Philadelphia Quakers. 71 degrees at game time, wind speed 4 miles per hour right to left, and light rain falling here in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Quakers coming in this game at 73-70, Providence at 74-69. So both teams in the hunt for that 2nd spot in the league, trying to chase Cleveland.
Play ball!
All right. Left fielder George Van Haltren leads it off. And for most of these players, you'll be able to see them, but every once in a while I'm going to just highlight. As we get down to it, it's nice to put some faces. But let's look at the outfield here. From left to right for Providence, Joe Kelly, sliding Billy Hamilton, Wee Willie Keeler, and the infield going around from 3rd to 1st, John McGraw at 3rd, Kid Oberfeld at short, Bid McPhee at 2nd, Hal Chase at 1st. Buck Ewing is behind the plate, and Haas Radborn finishing his warm-up pitches, and he will face George Van Haltren, George Davis, and Eddie Collins for the Philadelphia Quakers. So we're about to get underway here. We'll let the computer do its little festivities, and we know that old Haas is coming with an 0-1 to left fielder, lefty George Van Haltren. Here's the swing. Van Haltren grounded to Elberfeld at short. Elberfeld up with it onto Prince Hal Chase to retire Van Haltren. And we're underway here at Huntington Avenue grounds. Thank you very much for joining. Radborn looking for win number 28 as George Davis steps in. The shortstop for Philadelphia is hitting 205 with 3 home runs and 43 runs batted in. Radborn kicks and fires. The 0-2, Davis swinging on a little spitball, and this one gets out in front of the plate. Ewing, by the time he's up with it, George Davis is at first. So infield hit for Philadelphia. George Davis with some pretty serious speed, 39 steals in the season. And here's Hall of Famer Eddie Collins. Collins hitting 247 in the league, a home run, 43 runs batted in for him. Ewing paying close attention to George Davis there at first, as is old Haas Radborn, and unfortunately, I still have to find a picture for old Haas. Not that I've been looking, I need to look. Radborn brings it home. And there goes Davis. Ewing up gunning, and George Davis, the dust settles. Close play there at second, but Elberfeld, a bit late with the tag. Davis making a nice slide. Steal number 40 for the shortstop. Eddie Collins back in there. The 1-0 delivery to Kaki Collins. Fastball swung on, chopped to short. Elberfeld coming in on the grass. Makes the peg to Chase. Chase with the stretch, not in time. Eddie Collins just way too fast. And the grass here slowing up the horsehide a little bit. Davis on at second. Collins on at first for third baseman Bill Joyce. Joyce hitting 182. He's got 46 runs batted in and 5 homers. And of course, in this league, you can't necessarily say that the pitcher was taken downtown. It's more like the ball rattled in some of these cavernous ballparks. Radbourne pitching in a light rain here has the sign from Buck Ewing. The wind in the 1-0 delivery. And Bill Joyce cuts on this fastball. Fly ball to slide Billy Hamilton in center. Plenty of room in this big ballpark. Makes the catch. George Davis tagging at second. He will make third, and Collins gunned down at first. Collins trying to advance on that play, and the McPhee tag just in time. And that does it. What a crazy end to an inning. Let's look at that one again. So Joyce sends this one out to Hamilton. So watch Collins. He's halfway to second. Retreats. Davis tags. The throw goes to third. Collins, right, but it gets to the cutoff man, Elberfeld, who tosses across to McPhee to rid the diamond of Eddie Collins. So no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and we go to the bottom of the first. The Quakers nothing, and Providence coming to bat. Sliding Billy Hamilton leads it off here. 288 with 7 home runs, 7 runs batted in. And I wish Ken was in here because I know he's trying to up this stolen base total for Billy Hamilton. Was projected to steal 91 in this, has 29 steals, but 5 over the last 2 days. But I don't want to manage for Cousin Ken, so. Jeff Tesreau, the righty, has the sign from Hall of Fame catcher Chief Myers. The 3-1 delivery. Hamilton lays off and draws the walk. Yeah, Big Clue says one thing that's impressed me is how razor thin close the records of quite a few of the teams are to each other. Job well done, boys, he says. Absolutely. I'll tell you what, let's try something. I mean, Todd B's a good sportsman. Unless Cousin Ken comes in. Let's try to think as Cousin Ken. All right? So Ken is usually with Hamilton on first. He's going to do a hit and run or a straight steal. So if Ken doesn't mind, maybe we can let the community manage him for him a little bit. So let you guys decide. Wee Willie Keeler hitting 291, a home run, 52 runs batted in. Keeler, a superb bunter. Average hit and run, but Keeler, an excellent contact hitter. One of the best in the game, the man responsible pretty much for the foul strike rule. It's a good picture of Jeff Tesreau there, by the way. So what do we think? Yeah, Big Clue says, good call, don't manage Cousin Ken. That's what his nursing staff are for. He's all about Billy stealing, so we're going to do a straight steal. Yep, WWKD, what we can do. All right, so we're going to go straight steal here. See what happens. Tesreau has the sign from Chief Myers. A check of Hamilton at first. Here's the delivery to Keeler. And Hamilton could not get a good jump. So the Philadelphia battery looking possible steal here, but seeing that Hamilton still has a chance for a successful steal, let's go for it again. The 1-0 delivery from Tesreau. And there goes Hamilton. Myers, the throw down, and Cousin would be proud. Billy Hamilton picking up steal number 30. Now, he will sometimes have him steal third, but I think I'm going to just go the straight up hit away. Could try to bunt Hamilton to third. What do you guys think? Do we try to sack bunt Hamilton or try to bunt for hit and move Hamilton to third? I think Ken forgot that I said I'd be on a little earlier tonight. Of course, there's 9 people watching. Ken might just be watching to see how we manage now. Who knows? Um, let's try, because he's managing aggressively. Let's try bunt for hit with Keeler. He's an 8 bunter. Hamilton, good lead off second. The 2-0 delivery from Tesreau, and the throw down, and they're gonna gun down Hamilton. So Keeler aboard, 1 away. We will at Keeler among the league leaders in steals with 55. We're gonna let the computer call this one. We'll just kind of alternate a little bit. Joe Kelly hitting 241, a home run, 40 runs batted in. Keeler, not quite as fast as Billy Hamilton, but still some superb speed there at first. His jump rating a little bit lower than Hamilton. The throw over. Keeler back ahead of Henry Larkin's tag. Yeah, Tiernan can hit for power, definitely. Tiernan's got some speed, but Tiernan kind of the power in the Philadelphia lineup. If we're looking at, we're not seeing replay stats up here, but real stats. We got to change that. All right, the delivery from Tesreau. There goes Keeler. Myers, hit and run was in motion. Davis up with it. His only play will be to first. Larkin makes the stretch to retire Kelly. Keeler makes it to scoring position. But 2 away for John McGraw. Little Napoleon not hitting what he's expected to hit. He's projected to hit 318. He's hitting only 243. 48 runs batted in for the scrappy third baseman. And we'll see him at our next project with the 1894 Baltimore Orioles. Tesreau with a check of Keeler at second. He brings it home. Payoff pitch to John McGraw. Curveball. McGraw lays off, and Providence with 2 aboard. And where are you, Cousin Ken? Ducks in the pod. Speed on the base paths. McGraw with 51 steals. So Wagner, the league leader in stolen bases, feeling a little bit of heat from these guys right now. Prince Howell Chase, 263, 6 homers, 51 runs batted in. Howell Chase could have been a Hall of Famer, I believe, but Prince Howell more interested in the green than the horsehide, apparently. I guess like today's players. Tesreau delivers to Chase, the 1-2 delivery. Chase swings, bounding ball up the middle, and Collins making the nice play, ranging to his right to retire Chase for out number 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and we've played one here at the Huntington Avenue grounds, the original home of the Boston Americans, who would become the Boston Red Sox. One of 2 sites to host the very first World Series, modern World Series, 1903. The other one, of course, being Exposition Park in Pittsburgh. No score, top of the second here. And we're talking about power. Mike Tiernan does have power, so in this, actually the guy on the Philadelphia lineup with the most power in the baseball history collection is Bill Joyce. But Tiernan, decent pop, 10 home runs. And for a 19th century player, that's a lot of power. But only 3 in the replay. But when you consider the pitching, he's facing Walter Johnson, Rube Waddell, and whomever, but still respectable. 246, 3 home runs, 31 runs batted in. Haas Radbourn. Payoff pitch to Tiernan. Tiernan sends this a long fly ball to left. This has distance. Kelly going back in the corner and makes a running catch into deep left field in the corner here. Huntington Avenue grounds. You can look up the dimensions of this park. It's a big ballpark. In fact, so big you could fit Ebbets Field inside Huntington Avenue grounds. That's how big the field was. Ebbets Park was exactly 1 city block all the way around. Chief Myers, as we said at the top of the broadcast, with a 10-game hitting streak, stands in against Haas Radbourn. 241 average for the Chief with 3 home runs and 54 runs batted in. Light rain continues to fall here at Huntington Avenue grounds as Radbourn winds in the 1-0 delivery to Myers. Myers swings in his fastball, and that's a base hit, number 3 for Philadelphia. And Myers is aboard as Joe Kelly gets the ball back into plate breaker Kid Elberfeld. And if Henry Larkin doesn't look like the quintessential 19th century player, I don't know who does, except for King Kelly. So there's Henry Larkin. Myers, no speed at first, really. On the season, just 8 steals. So 3 above what he's projected on the baseball history collection. Ewing sets up a bit outside. Radbourn with the 0-1 delivery. And there goes Myers. And the hit and run. McPhee's only play would be to Howe Chase at first. Philadelphia playing Providence-style baseball now. 2 down and Myers in scoring position. PQ River coming in for a few, he says. All right, Cousin Ken, thank you. We're going to have the, I didn't know if you remembered that I was going to be coming on earlier tonight because of weird work hours. Tomorrow night will be closer to the 10:30, 11 o'clock start time at night. So thanks for coming in early. No score. Billy Hamilton did pick up another steal, though, so that should make you happy. Ken Castro says, thanks for the not-so-nice comments before my arrival, boys. You know who you are. And, of course, Todd B. playing the angel there. All right, Radbourn delivers now to Thomas, 249 hitter in the season. And Roy Thomas with a base hit, and Kelly up with it. Myers rounding third. Thomas bluffs to second. Here's the throw home, and Myers is going to score easily. Philadelphia in the throw down to second, and Thomas will make it to second. Myers scores, and it's an early Philadelphia lead here, 1-0 in the top of the second. 2 away for pitcher Jeff Tesreau. Tesreau, who I maintain, if you've seen American Horror Story, sort of resembles the actor in that series a little bit. Tesreau, a very fine pitcher, one of the better pitchers of the day, not Hall of Fame quality, but certainly very, very good. Tesreau hitting just 163, though, 8 runs batted in. Radbourn ready to work to him now. Runner in scoring position, 2 down, 1 in. Here's the pitch. Curveball to Tesreau. Bounding ball to first. Radbourn goes over to first to cover and takes the little toss from Bid McPhee. Inning over, but 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, a man left. Bottom of the second, Philadelphia 1, Providence nothing. And here is Bid McPhee now. And we didn't talk about this defensive lineup for Philadelphia. So from left to right, it's George Van Haltren, Roy Thomas, Mike Tiernan, Bill Joyce at third, George Davis at short, Eddie Collins at second, Henry Larkin, first base, Chief Myers catching, and Tesreau pitching. Bid McPhee, second baseman for Providence, hitting 204 with a home run, 8 runs batted in. Tesreau with the leg kick and the 0-2 delivery, fastball, and strike 3 called. 1 down, and Tesreau picks up strikeout number 1. He struck out 1 and walked 2 in the game thus far. Buck Ewing now, who's been playing well. Don't let that 248 average fool you. He's been very clutch for Providence. He's hitting 248, 9 home runs, 66 runs batted in. PQ Rivers says the arms of some of these guys will never see someone pitch so many innings again. Nope. That's true. I mean, so Tesreau, Old Haas, he's looking for what, win 25 or 26 or something, I don't know. Something ridiculous, and he has like 22 or 23 losses. And even when you get into the dead ball era, I mean, Iron Man Joe McGinnity could pitch complete double headers. Pretty crazy, right? They said you were paid to pitch 9, and that's what you did. I always maintain, what if these guys had the training methods? You look at Ty Cobb, Hannes Wagner, what they contributed, what they did on the field. Imagine if they had, I think they could have competed easily today. I really do. 1-2 delivery to Ewing. Ewing, fly ball to left. Van Haltren going back on it. And right in front of the advertising makes the catch. And in this era, there were no affiliated minor leagues. That didn't come along until Branch Rickey. A bit later on, the idea of a farm system didn't exist. A lot of independent minor leagues and semi-pro ball, of course, but no affiliated minor leagues yet. So these guys, if you didn't make it to the majors, you were playing for factory teams and stuff like that, or you were back digging ditches, or hanging steel or whatever. And almost all these guys had jobs in the off season. Ty Cobb maybe being one of the rare exceptions. Elberfeld now hitting .219 with a home run and 48 runs batted in. Nobody on, 2 down. Tesreau with the 0-1 to Elberfeld. Elberfeld swings, come back to the mound. Tesreau off to the mound behind him and able to throw over quickly to retire the side. 2 in the books here, and it's 1-0. Yep, workouts were an off-season job, so imagine, right? In the off-season these days, and these guys deserve it, right? They could just hang out, catch up in a good suntan. But these guys were doing things like, building buildings and getting the farm ready for, planting and, yeah, digging ditches, doing whatever they were doing. So tough. These guys didn't really have an off-season, did they? Back at the top of the order now, and again, we can see here already in Action PC, it's saying that Radbourn is looking strong. He was really the pitcher with the most rest. So Cousin Ken Castro's got to hope to get some run support here for Old Haas. So I'm sorry, he's going for his 28th win. He's 28-23 and 457 innings pitched. And even among players of his time in the 19th century, Old Haas Radbourn was pitching innings like crazy that guys like, Chesbro and others weren't. So, for his time, what a great pitcher. Radbourn with the 1-0 delivery to Van Haltren. Van Haltren swings. Routine fly to center. Hamilton has his sights on it, brings it down. 1 up, 1 down. Big Clue says a general rule I subscribe to Beetle to me says is that the best of any given era would be among the best of any other given era, but the quality of the average players gradually got better with time. I would agree with that. And the worst players have become substantially better over time. I would agree with both of those assessments. Absolutely. Definitely agree with that. I mean, I think Wagner would have been a great shortstop today. I think Tris Speaker would have been a great center fielder today. All right, so George Davis is 1 for 1. Infield single back in the first. 1 away here as Radbourn comes with the 0-2 curveball. And Davis sends this out to the Billy Hamilton show in center. And can of corn. 2 up, 2 down for Eddie Collins. Infield single for Collins in the first, one of the faster players in this league. Radbourn toes the rubber, the 3-1. Collins lays off. I think key for this pitching staff for Philadelphia is you got to keep this running game down if you want to, you want to keep Radbourn in the game and get you some innings. Collins first, 2 away for Bill Joyce. Bill Joyce flied to deep center. Collins got a little bit greedy, was gunned down, sort of gunned down in second. It went Hamilton to Elberfeld to McPhee. Radbourn comes home to Joyce now. Joyce swinging on the first pitch. There goes Eddie Collins, the throw down, the slide, and Eddie Collins is caught stealing, and that ends the inning. We go to the bottom of the third. It's Philadelphia 1, Providence nothing. Providence needs to win this game. Not that they would be completely out of it yet, but a loss for Providence tonight could be huge for them. Old Haas Radbourn. Didn't see it there, Ken, on the pitch out, but it worked anyhow because the computer did it, so it's all good. Clee Baseball Fan. Clee Baseball Fan 79 in there. Tim is in here. Good to see you, Tim. Tim doing, getting ready or doing 2007 Indians. Good stuff. Finished a Mike McCormick replay fairly recently. Not sure what Tim has coming up next. Yes, Richard Nixon was a Quaker. Unbelievable, isn't it? All right, back to game action. Old Haas Radbourn. This is his first time up tonight. Doing pretty well, though, at the plate. He's hitting .239, 2 home runs, 20 ribbies for him. Jeff Tesreau has struck out 1 and walked 2. The 1-0 to Old Haas, and Old Haas takes ball 4. So good eye up there. And back at the top of the order and sliding Billy Hamilton. Radbourn has only stolen 2 bases. So not knowing what Ken wants to do here. There goes the glove. Clee baseball fan says after the 2007 Indians will be the 1972 Pirates replay. Oh, nice. With Clemente's chase to 3,000 and super advanced strike. Nice, nice, nice. That'll be one. That'll definitely be one to. What a tribute to the great one. All right, bunt for hit. Billy Hamilton in the game walked back in the first and stole a base. Tesser over the check of Radbourn at first. Here's the delivery to slide Billy Hamilton. Hamilton bunts this foul along the third base side. Count 0-2 on him. See whether Cousin Ken wants to keep the bunt on or swing away on the 0-2 count. $12 in tonight. Got a couple likes. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Hit away. All right. Willie Keeler waits on deck. Nobody out. Radbourn on at first. 1-0 Philadelphia lead. Tesreau with the 0-2 delivery to slide Billy. Chopping ground ball to short. Davis to Collins. Collins on the pivot to Larkin. And just that quickly, 2 down. 1 pitch and 2 outs. Any pitcher will take that. Willie Keeler is 0-1. Bunted to catcher on an attempted sacrifice play, or attempted bunt for hit, I should say. And Hamilton was out at third. Tesreau fires it home to Willie. The 0-1 fly ball to left field. A lot of room in this park, and Van Haltren backpedaling on that and making the catch. No runs, no hits, no errors. 3 gone here in Huntington Avenue grounds. It's the Quakers 1, Liberty Tree 0. Due up for Philadelphia, Bill Joyce, Mike Tiernan, and Chief Myers. Third baseman Bill Joyce flied to deep center back in the first. As Radbourn comes home with it, Joyce swings, base hit into left field. Joe Kelly can't hold on to this ball. Joyce starts to go to second. He's going to make it to second as Kelly is chasing that ball. So that's going to be a single and an E7. So Joe Kelly picking up the error on the play and a runner in scoring position for Philadelphia. And let's see how many pitches Radbourn is good for. You're going to have to watch your pen or watch your staff there, Ken. He's good for 50. All your pitchers going on short rest 2 nights ago. So Ken on a 3-game winning streak, but that first game, manager Castro, the Providence Liberty Tree, going to his bullpen frequently, and everybody on short rest except O'Brien. And O'Brien really doesn't have a lot of innings, so manager Castro has his work cut out for him this afternoon. No night games here, so this afternoon. Radbourn with the delivery, the 3-0 to Mike Tiernan. Tiernan lays off, it's ball 4. Old Haas has walked to second. He has yet to strike out a batter. Chief Myers is 0-1. Last time up, I'm sorry, he's 1-1. Singled over third. Radbourn pitching with 2 on, nobody out. The 0-1. Myers bunts it foul, third base side. Count 0-2 on Chief Myers. Radbourn with the wind in the 0-2. Change up. This one chopped to short. Elberfeld will go to first for the shore out to retire Myers. Philadelphia with 2 in scoring position and 1 down. Joyce at third, Tiernan at second. Big clue. Yeah, having some PC issues. So hopefully those are going to get straightened out. All right. But Big Clue talking about Quakers. A bit funny comment in there. Love it. Larkin is nothing for one. He is grounded to second. Back in the second. Radbourn pitching with 2 in scoring position. And here is the 2-1 to Henry Larkin. The fastball. Fly ball to left. This is going to be deep enough. Joe Kelly ranging back has it. Joyce will tag at third. And he will score as the throw comes in to Kilt Elberfeld. It's now the Quakers 2 and Liberty Tree nothing here in the top of the 4th. And stepping in is center fielder Roy Thomas with Mike Tiernan in scoring position. RBI single for Thomas back in the second. He scored Chief Myers. Radbourn has the sign from Buck Ewing, toes the slab, and the 1-1 fastball to Thomas. This one's going to twist foul on the right-hand side as Keeler gives chase, but this one going 14 rows back. The count 1-2, and Radbourn is showing signs of fatigue with 2 out. No sign going up from Providence. I guess we're going to try to see if Radbourn can finish out the inning. Nope, the glove going up. So, cousin Ken Castro calling for the intentional walk of Roy Thomas to get to Jeff Tesreau. And on the 1-2 count, Radbourn throws 3 wide ones. So intentional walk, Thomas at first, Tiernan at second, Jeff Tesreau 0 for 1. Grounded to first back in the second. Radbourn fires it in. He's behind Tesreau 2-1. Tesreau, easy fly ball to center, and Billy Hamilton makes the play. So that does it. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, 1 left on, and we go to the bottom of the 4th. It's Philadelphia 2, Providence nothing. Take a swig of some water here. Check up on the chat. All right, so Clee baseball fan and PQ River talking about laptops being provided by work and stuff like that. Bunt for hit for Joe Kelly. All right. Left fielder Joe Kelly will lead it off here for Providence in the bottom of the 4th inning. He'll be followed by Mr. McGraw and then Prince Hal Chase. Joe Kelly nothing for 1 in the game, grounded to short. Tesreau twirls it. Count even on Kelly. And swing and a miss. And that brings up John McGraw. John McGraw walked back in the first. Wait to see what Ken wants to do here with McGraw. McGraw's bunt rating a 10. McGraw also, if he gets on, he's a threat to steal 51 steals. Hal Chase waits on deck. 1 down, 2-0 Philadelphia lead. Not insurmountable, but the pitching staff crucial. So Providence hoping for a day off to rest this staff. Seeing nothing additional from cousin Ken, so this could be a bunt for hit situation. And I shall assume that is the case. Yep, there's the glove. It's the Robbie Wartburg glove. I think he's the first one to ever throw up that big pink thing. Lavender, whatever it is. So Aaron Reed, I'm glad it worked, and hopefully you can navigate it. Okay, bunt for hit, got it. Tesreau fires it into Little Napoleon, the 0-1. McGraw gets a bunt down. Larkin coming in on it. He's going to throw to Collins, covering on the play. 2 down. And here's Hal Chase, who is nothing for 1. Grounded to second, back in the first. Jeff Tesreau has fanned 2 and walked 3. Tesreau into the line, the 1-2 to Chase. Chase, base hit up the middle. First base hit for Providence, and the no-hitter broken up now. Hey, there's JT Dutch. Good to see you, my friend. Glad you could make it in for a little bit tonight. Depends on how fast this one goes. We could do a doubleheader. I'm good to about 12:30, so we have about 2.5 hours. 2 hours and 45 minutes. Ken, what are you going to call here for? Hit and run. Okay. So Hal Chase at first. Chase with 20 steals. Got a good jump rating. So the hit and run is on. 2 down, 2-0 your score. Here's the wind in the pitch from Jeff Tesreau, the 0-1. There goes Chase. And, oh, this one, come back to the mound. Tesreau on to Larkin. And that ends the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. And we've played 4. It's Philadelphia 2, Providence nothing. And Cousin Ken, you need to bring in, I think you want to bring in a pitcher. Hey, there's Legend Sports Universe. Guys, check out that amazing channel. Good stuff. Excellent channel. All right. I'll bring up your pen so you see what you got, Ken. So Jack Taylor is your only, right? Taylor is the only one. He's not on short rest. He's good for 75 pitches. George Bradley's good for 85. Everybody else working on short rest. JT Dutch says he's been under the weather all weekend. Get well, get well, get well. Legend Sports Universe says he's been dormant lately. He's trying to get the Franchise Stars League set up. It'll be back broadcasting this week. Looking forward to that. Subscribe to that great channel, Legend Sports Universe. Waiting for Jack Taylor is going to come in. Okay. So Taylor will come in. Old Hoss Radborn will take a seat. He has earned it. Jack Taylor's numbers in the league this year, 2.31 earned run average. He is 11 wins, 11 losses, no saves. Jack Taylor's worked 171 and a third innings. He's walked 34 and struck out 51 opponents, hitting .256 against Jack Taylor. His whip at 1.179. Interesting to look at Taylor's numbers. The real stats represent those in this baseball history collection. And except for innings pitched, I mean, there's a lot how close he is in a lot of things. So I love this engine. Light rain continuing to fall here as Taylor finishes his warm-up pitches. George Van Haltren in the box now here in the top of the 5th. Van Haltren has grounded to short and flied to deep right center. Taylor brings it home. The 0-1 changeup. Van Haltren, hard ground ball, but Hal Chase takes a nice hop. And Van Haltren is retired for out number 1. So Jack Taylor getting it done quickly here. George Davis, 1 for 2 in the game. Single and fly to right. Jack Taylor, 1-1 to Davis. Change up, lined right back to Jack Taylor. So 2 up, 2 down for Eddie Collins. Eddie Collins infield single and walked. Collins back in the first was caught being a bit greedy and then was caught stealing in the third. So Collins not bringing his speed game here today. And there's Eddie for those of you who don't know. Bats lefty, great career with the Athletics and the White Sox. It was also called cocky because he was never hesitant on touting his own skills. And luckily enough for him, he could easily back those claims up. Great at the bat, great in the field, one of the great second basemen of all time in baseball, Eddie Collins. Jack Taylor ready to deal now with 2 down to Collins. Here is the pitch. Collins, first pitch swinging, grounds this one right to Prince Hal Chase. So Taylor gets it done quickly. Bottom of the 5th, it's still 2-0 as Philadelphia goes quietly. Buck Ewing, Kid Elberfeld, and Jack Taylor due up for Providence Liberty Tree. And again, I have to say I like the touch that Ken did. A largely 19th century team. and using an earlier, I should say, so mid 19th century, a lot of teams, um, because you still had the Queen's English going on, uh, would be use a singular name. So that's the only team in here, the Providence Liberty Tree. Nice touch by Ken Castro on that one too. Ewing is nothing for one. Fly to left, back in the second. Jeff Tesreau, 2 Ks, 3 BBs as Tesreau brings it the 2-1 fastball. Ewing swings, fly ball to Thomas, camps under it, and squeezes the leather for out number 1. Kid Elberfeld, who broke some plates last night in a local Boston restaurant, grounded to pitcher back in the second. Tesreau fires the 2-0, fastball swung on, comebacker. This went past Tesreau, but Collins ranging far to his right, and bad throw by Eddie Collins, E4, and Kid Elberfeld is aboard. That is error number 30. Oh, I'm sorry, that was the bad throw by Davis? No, it wasn't. It was by Collins. So Eddie Collins picks up his 30th error, just as I tout his skills, but he was great. And that brings up Jack Taylor, and waiting for, I'm guessing Cousin Ken is going to go sack bunt here. Not sure. Kid Elberfeld at first. Elberfeld with 23 steals in the season. Yep, thought so. All right, sack bunt is on. Infield in at the corners, Joyce in at third, Larkin in at first. Jeff Tesreau checks Elberfeld at first. Throw back, and Elberfeld back ahead of Larkin's tag. Yes, it is JT Dutch. This is Huntington Avenue grounds. Good eye. Tesreau deals the 0-1 to Jack Taylor. Taylor gets the bunt down. Tesreau pouncing on this ball onto Eddie Collins. Sacrifice successful. Elberfeld in scoring position, 2 away and back at the top of the order, and slide Billy Hamilton. Hamilton has walked and grounded into a double play back in the third. Hamilton lefty in the box now against Jeff Tesreau. Philadelphia battery ready to work. Myers sets up for Tesreau. Here is the wind and the delivery by Jeff Tesreau to slide Billy Hamilton. The 0-2 curveball, and Hamilton takes called strike 3. Side retired, no runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 left. 5 in the books here at Huntington Avenue grounds. Philadelphia maintaining its 2-0 lead. Jeff Tesreau working on a 1-hitter right now. Bill Joyce leading it off as Big Cluse's 1901 is the only time in American history where the UK monarch and the President of the United States both died in the same year. Wow. Yep. True. Queen Victoria and William McKinley. Well, it also doesn't make me very much money, Big Clue, as I'm starting to pick up some people that want some close-up magic gigs. So yes, it does make me sad. All right, 15 in here tonight. Thanks, guys. I really, really appreciate it. Bill Joyce is 1 for 2 here, leading it off in the top of the 6th. He'll be followed by Mike Tiernan and Chief Myers. Bill Joyce is flied out and singled. Jack Taylor on in relief of Old Hoss Radbourne. Winds the 0-1 delivery to Bill Joyce. Curveball swung on, lined right to McGraw at third. 1 up, 1 down. Taylor working quickly here as Mike Tiernan steps in. Jack Taylor not needing a pitch clock. Tiernan has flied out and walked in the game. Ewing sets the target. Taylor with the 2-0 to Tiernan. Tiernan swings. This one a fly ball to right. Keeler back on it, makes the catch. Tiernan gave it a ride but allowed out here. 2 away as Jack Taylor faces Chief Myers. Myers singled back in the second and grounded out in the fourth. Taylor's 1-0 delivery to Myers. Changeup, comebacker to the mound. Jack Taylor on to Hal Chase. Side retired. 5.5 gone, and it's still 2-0. And Willie Keeler, Joe Kelly, and John McGraw due up for Liberty Tree. Keeler, 0-2 in the game. No clocks belong in baseball, absolutely. Speaking of, I don't know if it was a clock, but I just read or saw something. It was a news story, Camden Yards. I guess they took down the Baltimore Sun sign, which was so cool looking. Apparently, they said that the bill hadn't been paid on that beautiful, and I do believe that was a clock, a Baltimore Sun clock. And so I guess it's being taken down from Camden Yards. That kind of sucks. I wish somebody would just come in and just pay for the damn thing. It looks so great out there. Camden Yards, such a pretty ballpark. That's right, except the time of day by Longines. Exactly. Yeah, I'm kind of curious about that, Todd. So watching, Todd says watching the pitch clock today with the Guardians was brutal. We hated it. How many seconds do those guys have? Just curious. Because a batter can really work that. If a pitcher's under pressure for that clock, right? Of course, the batter can't just call a timeout anytime he wants. I hope they have a balance to that terrible rule. Because if a batter can just step out, you could really unnerve a pitcher. "20 seconds. Well, what's going to happen, PQ Rivers? They're using it in spring training, but it's going to be used first in the league. My understanding is all the AAA minor league clubs will be using the pitch clock this season. So they have 15 seconds with bases empty, 20 with bases full, and batters get 1 timeout per bat. You could still mess with a pitcher even with that 1 timeout. That's bad. So the battery has to be engaged with the pitcher at 8 seconds. What a bullshit rule. It's a bullshit rule. And, Todd B making the comparison to basketball. So clocks make sense in the other 3 team sports. They don't make sense in baseball. All right, I don't want to get all fired up here. All right, 0-2. I'll go on a Jester rant, which is a good thing, but not for me. 0-2 to Keeler. Keeler swings, chopping ground ball. George Davis up with it at short. On to Henry Larkin. And Keeler is retired for the first out of the inning. Yeah, right. You mean like Nomar Garciaparra? I agree with that. But I don't agree with the pitch clock. I don't want clocks in baseball. Good God. They're gonna put what's gonna be next? Clocks per inning? Ghost runners on second. Ugh. Larkin in at first. Joyce in at third for Joe Kelly, batting with 1 down. Joe Kelly grounded to short and struck out in the game. Nobody can sound like Jester going on a rant, Robbie. Are you kidding me? Ghost runners are stupid. Yep. Pure owner crap, says JT Dutch. It's all designed to ensure the games fit in a broadcast window that is profitable. Pure owner crap. Amen. My idea of heaven is where baseball is baseball. Tesoro to Kelly, the 0-2. Base is empty. Kelly swinging away. Bill Joyce not able to hold on to the ball. That's going to be an E6, the 27th error. Or E5 on Bill Joyce. I'm sorry, E5. And Kelly in scoring position. 1 down, John McGraw. Joe Kelly at second with 49 steals. John McGraw in the game is 0-for-1. He has walked and bunted to first. McGraw bats from the left. Tesoro into the wind and the 1-0 to Little Napoleon. Fastball. Routine fly ball to center. Tom is backpedaling just a bit, makes the catch. Kelly tagging at second. Here's the throw to third. And this ball gets away from Bill Joyce. and Kelly comes in to score. So bad throw. That's going to be an E8 on Thomas. And Providence picks up its first one. It's now 2-1. 2 down, bases empty for Prince Howell Chase, who was 1 for 2. Tesreau brings it home. The 1-0 delivery to Chase, fastball. And this one sent a long way to left, but not long enough as Van Halteren makes the catch against the wall. However, one Providence run, no hits, 2 errors, 6 gone here. It's 2-1. I get that they'll be fine with it, Legend Sports. I think that then the onus should be on the batters because, again, other guys do it as well, but the person that comes to mind all the time is Nomar Garciaparra. I mean, that guy, he might as well have changed his uniform between every pitch. Henry Larkin leads it off for Philadelphia, the number 7, 8, 9 hitters here in the 7th. Game moving along at a decent clip. Sacrifice back in the 4th, scoring Bill Joyce. Jack Taylor pitching effectively today, letting his defense do the work. He delivers the 2-0 to Larkin, changeup. Grounder to short, Elberfeld to his left, up with it, and over to Howell Chase, but low throw by Elberfeld. This one gets by Chase, goes to the stands, and Larkin is on at second. Error number 38 for Kid Elberfeld. So Providence having won its last 3, not looking as sharp tonight. The lines in these teams thus far for Philadelphia, 2-5-3, Liberty Tree 1-1-2. Each team has stranded 4. Roy Thomas, nothing for 1. RBI single back in the 2nd, scoring Chief Meyer. Larkin at 2nd with 16 steals. Taylor brings it home, the 3-0, and intentional walk of Roy Thomas to get to Jeff Tesreau. I know that you weren't here earlier, Ken, but you will be happy to know that the 19th century teams for our next project are in and done. They are in and done. So I was showing off what's been done so far. The tournament, the seating set, all that's left now is doing the ballparks, the cosmetics, and maybe finding some logos. And then once this is over, we go directly into that. Ad times are dragging out. The average dead ball game was something like an hour, and it was like an hour and a half. No commercials back in those days. You know what? Let's turn it to positive. You know what I miss? So a few weeks ago, I was telling you guys I was watching the Game 7 of the 1952 World Series. And you know what was really cool that I never got to see because I'm not old enough. I don't think anybody in this chat probably is old enough to have seen it. So when right, 3rd out, fielders just tossed their gloves up and left them out in the field, and that was so cool to see that. I'd only read about it, never saw it, and I don't know why that stopped, but it just looks so cool. You just see these gloves kind of being tossed out in the field, and just so cool looking. So how much the game has remained the same and how much it's changed, even in something like that, leaving your glove in the outfield when you come into bat. Mike Tiernan, nothing for 2, 2 on, nobody out. Thomas intentionally walked for Tesreau. Tesreau has grounded to first and fly to shallow center. Taylor lets it go. First pitch swinging, Jeff Tesreau, and he's going to bunt this one. And this one going into foul territory. Chase coming in for it. And this is just a high little pop bunt. And Chase will get this ball eventually. Yep, got it. So 1 down, big out for Jack Taylor. The back of the top of the order, and George Van Halteren. Van Halteren is grounded out twice and flied out. Taylor with the 3-1 to Van Haltren. The fastball.
Take your base.
Van Haltren lays off and draws the walk. So Jack Taylor now will get a little shot here of Jack. Close crop there. Bases loaded, 1 out. Last time we were here, we saw Buck O'Brien pitch himself out of some pickles. Can Taylor do it? His cousin Ken says looks like a corn slow-mo. You know what I mean, Todd. Talking about that last little bunt play. Bases jammed, no place to put George Davis, who's 1 for 3. Infield single back in the first. Taylor from the stretch in the 1-1 to George Davis. Changeup. Davis swings, base hit, center field over the head of Ben McPhee. Larkin will score, and they will hold Roy Thomas at third. Base is still loaded, still only 1 out, and it's 3-1 Philadelphia. And here's Eddie Collins, who is 1 for 2. Tim brings up a good idea. He says that he would, I would say, also have more commercial pre and post game. All right, bases juiced for Eddie Collins. Collins in the game has singled, walked, and grounded out. Taylor from the stretch, and the 0-2 delivery to Collins. And he hits Eddie Collins. Jack Taylor lets this ball get away from him. Hits Eddie Collins, and another run in for Philadelphia. It's 4-1 now, and Bill Joyce steps in. 1 out, bases loaded. Van Haltren at third. Davis at second. Collins at first. Bill Joyce 1 for 3 today. Singled back in the fourth. Jack Taylor losing his edge. The 3-0 to Joyce. Curveball. Curveball misses. Taylor walks in a run. It's 5-0 now, Philadelphia. That's Jack Taylor's third walk. And Providence, in the later innings, does have a few more options, but again, except for Charlie O'Brien, the staff pitching on short rest. Ken Castro coming up there with the glove. Good debate going on between Legend Sports Universe and JT Dutch on why games are so long. Pitch aggressive, you got it, Ken. For me, I don't care how long a baseball game goes on. I'm fine with it, especially if I'm at the ballpark. But there's a lot of people wanting to speed up the game. I just don't know that I like the way the game is being sped up, though. It's not so much resistance to change. I'm glad there are batting helmets. You know, I don't know. Tough debate. We could stop the ball game here and just debate this. It's good stuff. Tiernan 0 for 2. Base is still loaded. Now it's Davis, Collins, and Joyce around the horn. Taylor delivers. Tiernan. Base hit. Right field. Keeler up with it. Keeler chasing that ball around. Davis will score. Collins will score the throw into second. Tiernan is safe. It's 7-1. And here's Chief Myers, 1 for 3. 2 in scoring position, 1 down. Taylor from the stretch and the 1-0 to Myers. Myers, hard ground ball. What a great play by Elberfeld to stop that one to go extra bases. I think it's going to retire Myers, but Joyce will score the 8th run. 8-1 Philadelphia. So after getting smacked around a bit by Providence in the past few games, now just coming out here 8-7-3. Tiernan at third, 2 away. Taylor brings it from the stretch in the 3-1 fastball. Fastball misses. Larkin aboard. Runners at the corners of Philadelphia, 2 away here in the top of the 6th and 6 in. Henry Larkin with 16 steals in the season. Roy Thomas, 0 for 1. Jeff Tesreau waits on deck. RBI single back in the second for Roy Thomas. Taylor from the stretch. And here's the pitch to Thomas, the 0-1. This one gets away from Ewing, pass ball. And into scores Mike Tiernan, and it's 9-1. Larkin in scoring position, 2 down. Jack Taylor with the 1-1 to Thomas. Fastball, base hit, center field. Larkin rounds third, Hamilton up with it. And Larkin comes home, and the tag, not in time. 10-1, Philadelphia, ouch. This one hurts, and Ken Castro going up with the glove. Don't know if this was at the same time. Charlie Sweeney, let's have some fun. All right. So the pitcher spot due up in the fourth position when we get to the bottom of the eighth. But Jack Taylor, who came on at first pretty well, just kind of losing it. So Charlie Sweeney comes in on short rest. Jack Taylor sits down. Sweeney's numbers, and when Ken talks about having some fun, he's not kidding. And here's a picture of the dashing Irishman, by the way. Just not pitching the way he was expected. So in the league, he is with an ERA of 6.29, 2 wins, 2 losses. He's worked 24 1/3 innings. And he has walked 20 and struck out 11. Sweeney projected to have a 2.88 earned run average in the baseball history collection. So we're going to have some fun here with Mr. Sweeney. Ken Castro says he has Sweeney and Chase rooming together on the road. All right, Sweeney to Tesreau, the 1-1 delivery. There goes Thomas, the throw down by Ewing, the tag by McPhee, and Roy Thomas is caught stealing. Middle of the 7th, and I'm going to pull an RJL. You guys sing. I'm going to go grab some water. It usually goes off for the 7th inning stretch. Be right back. 10-1. Okay, back. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am in violation. Oh, well. There you go. All right, bottom of the 8th, 10-1. We're going to go ahead and speed this one up a little bit so that we can get to a second game. Maybe we'll take our Nuff Seds in another All-Star game, or we'll play an exhibition just to look at a couple of the teams in the tournament so we can decide. All right, Bid McPhee will lead it off here, then Buck Ewing and Kid Elberfeld here in the bottom of the 7th in rather a no contest. I'm in violation of a lot of things, Big Clue. I proudly admit that. All right, Tesoro comes home with it now to McPhee. McPhee swings and sends this one to center field, kind of medium deep. Van Halteren makes the catch, 1 down. Buck Ewing, nothing for 2. Jeff Tesoro. And we have a little rain delay going on, and oh man, this is not good. So rain delay, check your pitchers. So Tesoro still strong, and Sweeney nearly tired. Not the news Providence probably wants to hear. Buck Ewing back in there. Tesoro comes home with it to Ewing. Chopper to short. George Davis up with it over to Henry Larkin. And Buck Ewing will be out number 2 here in the bottom of the 7th. Elberfeld nothing for 2. Tesoro with the payoff pitch. Elberfeld liner right to Eddie Collins. Nice play. Side retired. We go to the 8th. And you know the score. It says Sweeney might be tired. I don't know whether Cousin Ken just wants Sweeney to just take one for the team. He'll be due up in the bottom of the 8th. Due up first. Give it a second here. Robbie says exhibition with tournament teams. So I can shock you guys and do some 1960s baseball too, but who knows? Anyhow, wait to see what Ken wants to do. As Robbie said, sent Ken some hockey updates. That's very nice. All right, he wants Sweeney back out there. All right. And here we go. He'll face Jeff Tesoro, George Van Halteren, and George Davis. Sweeney deals 0-2 delivery, fastball, Tesoro liner, right to Bid McPhee, 1 up, 1 down. And Sweeney is now officially tired until Ken Castro says otherwise. We'll leave him in. Back at the top of the order for Philadelphia and George Van Halteren. Van Halteren has grounded out twice, flied out, and walked. Sweeney deals the 0-2 delivery. Van Halteren swings. Liner, right to Hal Chase. So 2 liners, 2 outs for George Davis. Maybe Sweeney pitches better when he's tired. Who knows? No game does the weather simulation like Baseball for Windows does. Oh, well, if you're talking about the Ernie voice, then yeah, that would be true. So there's Robbie's nightly advertisement of Baseball for Windows, by the way. Singled up the middle, scoring Henry Larkin in the 7th. Sweeney deals to Davis, the 0-2 Davis, and this one is a liner to Hamilton. 3 lineouts. All right, so Sweeney to lead it off here. We'll wait to see. What Ken wants to do is, Todd B says 77 Rangers lose to the 77 Twins, 2-1 on a walk-off bases loaded walk. Oh, man. He says, ouch, that is an ouch. Ken Castro says keeping Charlie Sweeney from the poison by keeping him in. Big Clue says when a woman answers his nightly advertisement, we'll never see him again. He's hitting away and he's keeping Charlie Sweeney in there. All right. Sweeney, as a hitter this year, hitting 154 with no runs batted in. So the only thing he's doing is sporting that corn stash, as it were. Tesoro, oh, nope, it's Fred Dunlap hitting 196. Tesoro with the 0-2. Boy, the AI is quick on that stuff. Long fly ball to right. Tiernan back on it, makes the catch. So Providence with exactly 1 run in this game. That happened back in the 6th, in which Providence at that time had cut the Philadelphia lead in half. And it was a sacrifice by John McGraw scoring Joe Kelly, and that was it. But it all fell apart. I'm not going to read it all, but there it is. There's that 8th inning and everything that Philadelphia did. All right, back at the top of the order, sliding Billy Hamilton, nothing for 2. Tesoro with the 0-2 to Hamilton. Hamilton cut and a miss, 2 down. Keeler nothing for 3. Keeler swings, bounce or a little bunt. Myers to Collins, and that's it. And we need a pitcher for Providence as we head to the 9th. So, Ken, the only guy you have in here that's not on short rest, not that it matters at this point, is George Bradley. Let's see what he wants to do. And we'll see after this game whether there's going to be a little travel time after this. Bradley it is. Bradley will get some innings here. He's pitched 134 and a third. And here we go. There's a picture of George Bradley. Boy, with that look there, George Bradley looks like he should be more with Alexander Cartwright in the New York Knickerbocker. Eddie Collins is 1 for 2 as we start the 9th inning. Bradley deals now the 1-0 delivery. Collins swings, and this one line to right and short hop by Wee Willie Keeler. Collins aboard at first. And really, really quiet crowd here at Huntington Avenue grounds. Bradley with the 0-1 pitch. Joyce swings. I mean, it's dead quiet here at the park. I think everybody's gotten into their buggies and they're gone. Elberfeld calls for it. 1 down. And here is Mike Tiernan, 0 for 1. Fly ball to left. Tiernan gives it a ride. Kelly, it's off the wall. To add insult to injury, here comes Eddie Collins. Mike Tiernan with an RBI double, and it is 11 to 1 in favor of Philadelphia. Chief Myers 1 for 4. Tiernan in scoring position. The 1-2 delivery to Myers. Myers swings. This is gone. No doubt about it. Chief Myers with his 4th home run of the season. Tiernan comes in to score as well, and it is 13 to 1. Trying to get it over as quickly as I can, guys, but George Bradley just keeps giving up 2 back-to-back extra base hits here. 2-2 delivery. Larkin sends it to left. This one high, this one deep. This one is out of here. Henry Larkin with his 3rd home run. This is starting to really hurt. It's 14 to 1. We're not even going to recap this game. We're not going to recap it. We're just not going to do it. Bradley deals to Thomas, the 0-2. Base hit into right. And I guess that's why George Bradley isn't getting a lot of innings. So 1 aboard. Crowd deathly quiet here. 911, I'd like to report a murder. Yep. Oh my God, back-to-back in this league. Jeez. So yeah, so a double and then 2 home runs. So 3 extra base hits consecutively, huh? There's always tomorrow, right? Bradley deals. Here's the pitch. Sox Siebold. Why Philadelphia even sends in a pitch hitter is beyond me. Chase to Elberfeld, and it's not going to break up the double play, unfortunately. 2 down. George Van Haltren back at the top of the order. Nothing for 4. Does it matter at this point? Probably not. The 1-0 delivery. Van Haltren swings, and Billy Hamilton mercifully will take it for out number 3. But 4 runs, 5 hit, no errors. Bottom of the 9th, and Ed Walsh will come in for whatever reason. Not that Big Ed is needed. Ed Walsh, 2.11 earned run average. He's 21 and 15, 2 saves, 333 innings pitched, 64 walks, 181 strikeouts, a whip of 949. Opponents hitting 208 against him. Do you think the Philadelphia Quakers are doing a little bit of overkill? I do. 3 pinch hitters. Are we bringing up the scrubs here, Tim? Or Ken? Okay, so Joe Kelly is out of the game. And we'll see who's coming in. We haven't seen Benny Koff in a while. We haven't seen... I don't know, man. All right. And I don't know why Fielder Jones is still on your showing up here. I've got like he's with Carolina. I got to knock him off here. So forget Fielder Jones. You don't have him. Don't know why he's here. All right. So Benny Koff first. Great star of the Federal League, Benny Koff. Benny Koff, and it's weird how there's like no sound. It's like so low right now. All right, 207, 2 home runs, 55 ribbies. So Koff, Heydrich, and then we'll get the third one after Benny swings. Big Ed Walsh, the 2-2. Curveball. Walsh takes it to the bag himself, and Benny Koff is safe. Could this be the start of 13 runs in for Providence? All right, McGraw out, Heydrich in. And I can't help when I hear the name. It's of course this one's Emmett, but I can't help thinking of the bad Heydrich, who, of course, Reinhardt spelled it a bit differently, but hate when that guy comes to mind. All right, Elmer Heydrich, really just a pinch hitter. He is 2 for 4 in the league, with a run scored and a stolen base. And then Buffington, Charlie Buffington, stolen base. All right, let's see. Well, Benny does have 35. All right. Walsh deals to Heydrich. Koff off to the races. Myers throws down, and Benny Koff picks up steal number 36. Elmer Heydrich back in the box now. Delivery from Walsh to Heydrich. He swings, come back to the mound. Big Ed Walsh up with it over to Henry Larkin to retire Heydrich. And then we want Charlie Buffington to bat for Hal Chase, as you said, and I shall do it. So Charlie Buffington hitting .290 with 9 runs batted in. Walsh delivers the 1-2. Charlie swings. Oh, great play by George Davis to retire Larkin. For the second out, Benny Koff will make it to third. So Providence may be trying to at least get a crooked end score in this. We will see. So Koff at third. Do you want to pinch hit for McPhee, or do we want to? Not sure what you want to do. Todd B says, I don't want no scrubs. Here comes the hand, the Robbie Wartburg hand. Stolen base. Oh, man. All right. Okay. Ken's like, let's just get it over with. Now, it would be so cool if Benny Koff actually makes a successful steal of home. Will it happen? Walsh from the stretch to McPhee. Here comes Koff, and he's dead to rights. This one mercifully over. Thank you to, yeah, I think Ken meant for that to be a steal home. At least I hope, because that's when it came up, and there was no play yet. So this one, regardless, 14-1. He's going out in a blaze of glory. Todd Bia doing a little bit of John Bon Jovi. So what can we say? Providence and Philadelphia are now tied. Win-loss records of 74 and 70. Tesoro improves to 14-14. Old Haas falls to 27 and 24. No highlights for Providence, obviously. For Philadelphia, Roy Thomas went 3 for 3, 2 runs batted in. Chief Myers 2 for 5 with a homer. Mike Tiernan 2 for 4, 3 runs batted in. And if you just want to have fun, there's the pitching line. Miscellaneous. Let's see who the game-winning RBI was back in the fourth. So Roy Thomas, the MVP, Jeff Tesreau. That's that. We'll auto-play the other games now. The Bears coming in and says, someone give Castro a towel so he can throw it in. Aaron Reed saying, what a slaughter. The biggest one we've had so far was actually, there was a 17-run game won by St. Louis. I forget over whom. We'd have to go back and see. All right, so here we go. We're going to play out the rest of the game. St. Louis, Liverpool means nothing. Cleveland and Carolina has a meeting. Bellingham and Butler, somewhat. Arsenal and Manchester. Here we go. We're just doing it. We'll leave Cleveland and Manchester for last. And then I do think we have a rest day coming up for these teams. All right, so let's start with St. Louis and Liverpool because this game means nothing. St. Louis absolutely whomps Liverpool 10 to 2. Larry Corcoran gets the win. He goes to 16 and 19. Rube Marquardt takes the loss for Liverpool. He goes to 9 and 11. Tip O'Neill for St. Louis goes 3 for 5, 2 runs batted, including a double. All right, now we'll go to Arsenal playing Manchester. So ninth place Arsenal, first place Manchester. Manchester edging Arsenal, so Cleveland's got to win to try to keep a little bit of pace here. Walter Johnson gets the win. He goes to 19 and 10. Knapp Rucker takes the loss, goes to 10 and 19. Joe Tinker goes 2 for 3 for Manchester with a triple. We'll leave Carolina and Cleveland for last. Bellingham at 72 and 71 against Butler, 73 and 30. And Bellingham shuts out Butler 7 and nothing. Carl Mays with the win goes to 9 and 12. The Hoosier Thunderbolt, Amos Russi takes the loss. He goes to 18 and 13. Carl Mays gets the complete game and 4 strikeouts. And finally, Cleveland and Carolina. Cleveland in second place. Cleveland defeats Carolina 4 to 2 to retain its second place position. Eparixi gets the win. He's 1 and 4. Noodles Hahn takes the loss, goes to 9 and 15. Larry Doyle goes 3 for 4 with a triple and a stolen base. And what are we at 10:33? All right. And here are your standings. So Manchester's still 6 games up on Cleveland. So Cleveland in a little bit more comfortable second place position now, 2 games ahead of Philadelphia and Providence. So Cleveland 6 games back. Philadelphia and Providence, these two teams, and a tie for third. Butler and Bellingham tied for fourth at 73 and 71 and 9 out. And then the teams that just don't have a chance in hell: Liverpool, Carolina, Arsenal, and St. Louis. Cleveland 1 game from elimination from hosting the World Series. And I think what we'll do, since everybody else is eliminated, it's going to be the next teams coming up, or the next games coming up. So it's going to be St. Louis at Cleveland, Philadelphia at Liverpool, Bellingham at Carolina, Arsenal at Providence, and Manchester at Butler. If Cleveland loses, we'll take a few days and go to the World Series. If they win, we'll keep it going until they're eliminated, because why not? Because all the other teams still do have a chance. But once Cleveland is eliminated, we'll get rid of any ties, and we do have a couple one-game playoffs. So it's that middle of the pack there. We got 5 teams raising a little hell here: Cleveland, Philadelphia, Providence, Butler, and Bellingham. Let me see. Since we're talking about slaughters, high team. Let's go to this. So 1 runs. So the most runs scored. Actually, so this 14 tonight that we saw from Philadelphia, not even the highest. It was St. Louis in an August 10th game against Bellingham, and that was a 17 to 7 affair. So at least Bellingham managed 7 in that game, and that was back on 10th August. So that's the most runs scored. Arsenal had a 16-run game and won. And then you saw Philadelphia, Butler, Cleveland, Carolina, Providence had 14-run games. Liverpool, Philadelphia, and Liverpool again with 13-run games. Most runs, both teams, that belongs to St. Louis and Bellingham in that same game of 10 August. 24 runs in that game. We had a lot of 1-0 games. We're not even going to worry about those. Most hits by one team, held by Providence, August 4th against Bellingham. 22 hits. Let's look at that one really quickly. So that was an 11-2 ball game. That was a laugher. 22 hits by there's the recap, which just goes on forever, kind of like my broadcasts. Providence in the eighth back in that game against Bellingham sent 11 runners, scoring 6 runs on 7 hits, 2 walks, and an error. So, anyhow, there we go. Just a little bit of fun reporting there. Longest game in the league was Cleveland at Liverpool, and that was an 18-inning affair. The lowest hits in one game, Bellingham at St. Louis. It was 5 hits in that game total back on 9 September. Most errors, 11. Cleveland at St. Louis on September 2nd. And again, we can look at any of these games, but just kind of fun. Most errors by one team, Butler back on 9 July. Butler had 4 home runs. Butler leading the league by home runs by far. 4 home runs back on 5th June. Yeah, it is going to come down to the Cleveland series with St. Louis, which is coming up next. So let me see. I want to look at the schedule and see whether Providence gets a day off. So let's see. Let's look at the 15th. Nope. So coming up though, some good stuff here. Providence will be playing Arsenal. Pretty good news for them. But Cleveland will be playing St. Louis. Manchester and Butler could be pretty good. Philadelphia and Liverpool's really kind of meaningless. Liverpool 2 below 500. So I think we're done with the marquee matchups actually. And yeah, I don't see as playing out the schedule is going to make any sense. But we will play until Cleveland loses. There we go. Can you see St. Louis, Cleveland head to head? Yeah, we can do that. We definitely can do that. Just got to make sure I'm in the right one. I don't think I'm in the right one though. This is not the right one. Which is it? Which is it? Which is it? Teams. Team compare. There we go. I think this is it. No, this isn't it either. Damn it. So I love about this game. There's so many choices. Team salaries, injuries, da 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 da. Game films. It's nice that you can do game films in this, by the way. Is it team versus team game logs? And what did you want, Ken? I'm looking again. Very few, Robbie. Very few. Oh, Cleveland versus St. Louis. I think I'm doing this right. This is not the one either that I want. Damn it, where is it? I know it's somewhere because I was just looking at this. I'm just trying to figure out where this is. Oh my god. It's going to be under reports somewhere. Is it under compare? No, it's not. Where the hell is that really nice grid that shows how everybody did against everybody? Come on, Action PC players, help me out here. I can't remember. Is it team reports? It is not team reports. We did this. There's a way you can see how everybody did against everybody, and I can't remember where it is. Shit. Shit, the shit, the shit. You can, Cousin Ken. I can't remember where it is. How lame is that? I do not remember. Season, that's just a sub into season. I can't remember how to do it. You can do it. I'll look around. You can do win-loss records by month. So if you go to reports, this is when you do like league. You can do standings by date. Team versus team chart. Damn it. Thank you. All right. So, and this is really, really small. So St. Louis and Cleveland. So let's go across here and look. And this is done by series, by the way. So St. Louis has won two series to one. They're two series to one over Cleveland. So if you take into games, yeah, they've kind of owned Cleveland a little bit. So there it is. This is what I was looking for. Let's see if we can get a better view of it. There it is. I don't know if you guys, if that's any better, probably not. So there's the little grid. But standings by month, yeah, you can do that. So let's just look for a minute here, and then we'll go on to something else. League. How about standings by date? So just to get a little snapshot of our league, let's get back to June 20th. All right. So when we go back to June 20th, Providence was in first place, Philly in second, Bellingham third, Cleveland was in fourth, Butler in fifth, Manchester in sixth. Then you have Liverpool, Carolina, Arsenal, St. Louis. So Providence at one time was in first place, and that was at game 69. Cousin Ken should love that number. Funny, I should pick that. I did not mean it, but yeah. So there it is. You can pick them by any date that you want. Get it kind of a nice snapshot going all the way through. I don't know. You'd have to ask Dave Cook. I have no idea. You would have to ask Dave Cook. I don't know. Let's see who was in. Let's see what we had in July. So like by July 4th, Providence drops out of first. Is Philly? So notice Manchester. Manchester stayed in the hunt pretty much all the way. They were two games out on July 4th, and they're six or they're. Oh, in fact, here we go. You guys can see this better over here, so we don't have to look at that chart. So wow, and St. Louis had already been eliminated in July. So should we pick another date? Let's go to August 22nd. And August 22nd, this was, I think, really, we started in August was when all the crazy stuff was happening. Because you had Manchester, Cleveland, and Philadelphia. So by this time, Carolina, right, is eliminated. But you had all this craziness in here. So schedule. Let me see, Robbie. You wanted to know who's left, or how many games are left, right? That's what you asked. And I want to just set this back to um, this, which it will. Where's the schedule? Where is it? Where are you? Where are you? Schedule. Yes. All right. I believe. Is it this one? 23rd? Yep. So I am not really sure how many games are left. If you schedule, it doesn't matter. Everybody's playing the same amount of games. And we are in September 15th, 16th. Sorry. So 6 games left for every team. 6 games left to the McGreevy League, and it's over. And there you can look at everybody's. You can look at the schedule that way, but to tally them up head by head, I have no idea. Steve Tate might know, but he's not around. Boop. All right, let's cancel. Yes, saving changes. All right. So there's 9 folks left. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch up here. We're going to go to our dead ball tournament. We're not going to start it, but again, since Ken wasn't here, I do want to show him the playoff bracket. There it is. So round one is ready to go, and the 1915 Phillies, they're facing their first round is really tough. They'll be facing the 1904 New York Giants. Um, the 1911 Philadelphia A's will be playing the 1909 Pittsburgh Pirates. 1914 Miracle Braves will be playing the 1907 Cubs. 1912 Red Sox against the 1907 Tigers. That's going to be fun. 1912 Washington Senators against the 1919 Cincinnati Reds. 1885 Chicago White Sox against the 1899 Brooklyn Superbas. The 1894 Baltimore Orioles against the 1904 New York Highlanders. And then the 1884 Providence Grays against the hitless wonder 1906 Chicago Cubs. That is round one of this four-round playoff thing. First round is best of three. Round two is best of five. And rounds three and four are each best of seven. Yeah, not that much. I know, Robbie. 6 games to go. And that one's done. So, 99 Brooklyn and 85 White Stockings should be a great one. Yeah, I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I don't have ballparks set for those guys yet. So, if we do a little, we can either do an exhibition here or we can take our Ned McGreevy Nuff Seds and pit them against some team or another. Or let's go one better. How about if we take the Ned McGreevy Nuff Seds and pit them against one of Steve Tate's 5-year franchises? I think that would even be more fair. Pib99 is just sipping in. Are you looking for team wins loss records by month? No, we have that one. What I'm looking for, Pib, my friend, is we're looking for how each team did head to head by games. It does it by series, but I'm trying to find how they did by games because these guys want to see how Cleveland and St. Louis fared because St. Louis has one more series than Cleveland. We're trying to look at for games. Thanks, cousin. I've just got to get the ballparks assigned, and I'm looking for Messer Field, by the way, for you for Providence. Fingers crossed that maybe I can find an old postcard picture and bring it up in an image editor or something. If I can find Messer Field, that's where you'll be. So. Because these our Ned McGreevy Nuffseds have been playing regular squads, but I think it'd be fun to pit them against one of Steve Tate's 5-year files. Since why not? Yeah, but if I can find it, Ken, that will be your home park. If not, I guess it'll be Huntington Avenue again, or any park that you want. Doesn't matter. All right, so this is what I did. Instead of doing a game last night, I said if I came home late, I got home at 1:45, and I didn't think anybody would be up then at 1:45 Eastern Time. So I did the 19th century last night, and then set this stuff up, this the actual tournament. So all right, let's do that. Where's our? We're gonna bring in the Ned McGreevy Nuff Seds, but where's that All-Star game? And we're going to import something. Holy hell. I haven't run this like between this many. There we go. Nebagreevy All-Star game. All right, so they are the Dublin team. They lost to the Philadelphia Athletics in extra innings, 4-3. They beat the Baltimore Orioles in 1970, and they beat the 1934 St. Louis Cardinals. So what I'm thinking is let's bring in one of Steve Tate's 5-year files, later baseball though. So teams, import, and let's bring in a National League franchise, I think. I don't care. Let's see. How about are we in the mood? National League, American League? Doesn't matter to me. All right, let's play these guys against that because I just don't want to install another season. It's getting a little messy now. Is the world's worst gamer still in here? Because I'll do a Yankees team if he's still in here. If not, we'll do another franchise. And if nobody cares, I'm just gonna pick an American League One at random. What? Let's do something with these Ranger teams here, because the Rangers don't get a lot of love on the old channel here, do they? So what about the 2009 to 2013 Rangers versus the Ned McGreevy Nuffseds? Is that good with you guys? It's become the All-Star Series here in Ned McGreevy. I've got like an hour and a half left. So Robbie's fine with that because it's his Rangers. Okay, Rangers it is. There they are. Cool. Let's see if they have a ballpark assigned. Yeah, they do. Okay. Play ball. All right, Rangers in the Nuff Seds, huh? Okay. Um, we'll play in a modern ballpark this time. So Dublin will visit Texas. So Robbie, if you want to manage the Texas Rangers like Ken does, throwing up the paw, go ahead and do it. They're the home team. And we're going to leave both at humans so you guys can pick lineups or pitchers, whatever you want to see. So we got to see who's going to start for Dublin. Maybe Big Clue might want to, Big Clue or Todd might want to pick the starter for Dublin. Okay, Robbie will throw up the paw every once in a while because you probably know the Rangers better than anybody else here, considering you're a Rangers fan. I don't. Yeah, good. We don't have a DH. All right, I'll just make an executive decision then. We're going to start Rube Waddell. All right. Now we'll go to the opponent. Robbie, do you want to choose your starting pitcher and line up? And I'll go to real stats for these guys. There we go. I guess we want to go by game started. There we go. I'm sure you know your own pitchers, so. And I can just do a computer lineup if you want, Robbie, then you can see what it looks like. How about this? You have Kinsler, Gentry, Beltre, Cruz, Murphy, Andrus, Torrealba, Davis, and Yu Darvish. Does that sound good to you? Okay. And let's look at Dublin. Let's just generate one for Dublin. It's going to substitute Waddell for Johnson. It always does. But Johnson's pitched every damn game. Cobb, Delahanty, Lajoie, Bruthers, McGee, Baker, McGuire, Radbourne, and, well, we're not keeping Old Haas in there in right field, are we? No. Um, let me see. Who do we have here for right fielders? Cobb's already in the line. We have Mike Tiernan as a right fielder. Let's bring Tiernan into right. You know, Sherry McGee hasn't gotten a lot of love. Hannes Wagner's been starting every game. So let's just go with this and just go. We're just having fun with this. Welcome to the ballpark at Arlington, where it's Dublin against Texas. Rube Waddell takes the mound for the Dublin. Ned McGreevy, enough said. 34 starts in the year, and he's 16-14 with an earned run average of 2.09. And he'll be opposed by Yu Darvish for the Texas Rangers. So we're not worrying about Frank Baker's home run or his hitting streak, because it's actually 17. 74 degrees and light rain here in Texas. And let me just make sure this ballpark is set up. It's so sad that this ballpark is no longer used for Major League Baseball. I love that facade out there in center field in Texas. And everything looks, well, not completely kosher. Let's fix this. I don't like the way right center looks here. I'm going to raise this up a little bit. And left field, because you've got that high business going there in left field. All right. And this has to go up a little bit too. It looks a little bit better. All right, here we go. All right, Robbie, counting on you to manage these Rangers, man. Computer's going to take our Ned McGreevy, enough says. Ty Cobb will lead it off, and we'll use real stats for these guys. 374 for the Georgia Peace, 6 home runs, 101 runs batted in. So enjoy the game here in the Lone Star State. Yu Darvish at 3.31 earned run average. He's 15-9, 203 and 2/3 innings pitched. He's walked 84, struck out 251. So a battle of strikeout pitchers today. Darvish versus Waddell. Darvish winds and fires the 1-1 to Ty Cobb. And here's the delivery. Cobb chops this one to Kinsler at second. Kinsler to Davis for out number 1. And we're underway. Here's left fielder Ed Delahanty. 378, 10 home runs, 118 runs batted in. Darvish peers in. Has the sign from Torrealba. Here's the wind in the 1-2 pitch. Curveball. And this one lined right to Adrian Beltre. So 2 down. And brings up Napoleon Lajoie, and we already know what he's doing. 355, 7 home runs, 104 runs batted in. Darvish brings it home to Lajoie. The 2-1 fly ball. Gentry coming in on it in center, makes the catch. And the Dubliners go quietly. We go to the bottom of the first. The enough said's nothing, and the Rangers coming to bat. Leading off here for Texas, Ian Kinsler, 16 home runs, 72 ribbies for him. And Rube Waddell, the payoff pitch. And Kinsler with a clean base hit into center field. Cobb up with it as Kinsler rounds first. So Lajoie tried to make a diving stop, couldn't get to it. Runner aboard for Ian Kinsler, projected to steal 18 in Steve Tate's 5-year franchise file. And here's center fielder Craig Gentry, 292, 2 home runs, 24 runs batted in. Kinsler leads off of first. Bruthers holding him close. Waddell with a 2-1 pitch to Gentry. Gentry swings, little chopper to short. McGee will go to Bruthers for out number 1, and Ian Kinsler in scoring position for the Texas Rangers. 1 away here for third baseman Adrian Beltre. Beltre hitting .319, 33 dingers, 97 runs batted in. Good crowd here today at the ballpark at Arlington. Waddell fires it in, the 1-2 delivery to Beltre. Beltre swings, fly ball to right. Coming in on it is Mike Tiernan, and he makes the catch. Kinsler tags at second, and they will hold Kinsler. 2 out, a runner on for Nelson Cruz. 288 for Cruz, 25 home runs, 32 runs batted in. I'm going to pause here and there's 5 of us now, so we're down more to a baseball chat. But look at the difference, these guys. Even, you take away even the roughness of the photography. And I was seeing a couple videos some weeks ago, how people are aging more slowly or differently. Think about this. Waddell right? So Waddell and Nelson Cruz roughly the same age. But we're talking about how the hard work that these guys did in the offseason. Waddell maybe not so much, although he did like to wrestle alligators and did some very bad vaudeville performances. But if you were to stand these two guys next to each other, they're roughly the same age, and he looks like a kid, and this guy looks like, Rube Waddell, and Waddell died young, died in 1914. Just a little interesting look at these two teams separated by decades and decades and decades. Well, practically, 100 years, I guess. Waddell winds and fires the 1-1 to Cruz. Cruz swings, liner to Baker, and that does it. So no runs, one hit, no errors. We played one. Dublin and Texas are scoreless. Due up for the Dubliners, Dan Bruthers, Sherry McGee, and home run Baker. Bruthers, 316, 21 home runs, 102 runs batted in. Yu Darvish winds and fires the 0-1 to Bruthers. Bruthers, this one grounded to Kinsler. Kinsler bobbling the ball, and Kinsler picks up the E4, and Bruthers is aboard. And Bruthers has some speed, 29 steals. Sherry McGee getting the start in place of Hannes Wagner tonight. McGee hitting .311, 14 home runs, 83 runs batted in. Bruthers good lead off at first. Darvish delivers to Sherry McGee. McGee swings in the first pitch. There goes Bruthers. The throw down by Torrealba. Kinsler's tag in time. Not in time. Dan Bruthers picks up the steal. And even though you'll see stolen base number 30, that actually doesn't affect the actual numbers back in the other games. Don't let that worry you. McGee back in the box. Darvish with the 0-1 delivery. McGee gets the bunt down. Beltre coming in, making a fine play on that ball. On to Kinsler. Bruthers will make it to third, and here's home run Baker. Dubliners threatening here with one down in the top of the second. And home run Baker hitting .316, 8 homers, 94 runs batted in. Darvish has the sign from Torrealba. Here's the wind and the 0-2 pitch. Curveball, and Baker lofts this one to right. This one has distance. Cruz looking up, and this one is an upper deck shot. Home run Baker knocks it out of here 342 feet, and Dublin takes an early 2-0 lead over the Texas Rangers. Now here's catcher Deacon McGuire. As Cousin Ken says, yes! I'm rooting for Dublin too, obviously. No disrespect, Robbie. Neither did I. Baker cranked that one. You know, Todd asked something, and this is interesting, because if you look out here above the facade in left center, you see Action PC Baseball. So I might be tempted with some ballparks down the road to fire them up in Photoshop and maybe put some of our own advertisements in there, because unless Robbie would correct me, I don't think Dave Cook, who is in Wisconsin, would have put up a billboard, because it would have been prohibitively expensive at the ballpark in Arlington. So that's cool to see that up there. And it looks like it's part of the photograph. That's neat. So nice job on this ballpark. Somebody put an Action PC advertisement in left center here in Texas. All right. Deacon McGuire hitting .309, 3 home runs, 54 runs batted in. 1 out, 2 in for Dublin here in the top of the second, as Darvish deals the 1-2 fastball. And that one is a big cut on and a miss. So Darvish picks up strikeout number 1. Mike Tiernan steps in with 2 down, hitting .289, 10 homers, 74 runs batted in. Darvish brings her home. The 0-2. Tiernan swings this one out to center field. Gentry has a beat on it and makes the catch. Side retired, 2 runs, 1 hit, 1 error. Bottom of the second, it's the Nuff Seds 2 and the Rangers nothing. David Murphy due up first. Elvis Andrus waits on deck. David Murphy hitting .290, 13 home runs, 54 runs batted in. Rube Waddell has yet to strike out a batter. Both of these batters with very, very high strikeout numbers. Waddell with a 2-2. And Murphy cuts and misses, one down. So the Rube picks up strikeout number 1. And here's shortstop Elvis Andrus. Andrus hitting .283, 4 home runs, 61 runs batted in. Waddell with the 2-2. Andrus liner right to Sherry McGee. And we have an injury. Andrus turned an ankle and he's going to the dugout. Welcome to modern baseball. He's not shaking it off. So Texas is gonna need a shortstop when we get to the top of the third. Yorva Torrealba, catcher, hitting .272, 5 home runs, 25 runs batted in. And Robbie Wartburg making his second advertisement now tonight for Baseball for Windows. Waddell delivers. Torrealba swings, lofted to left. Coming in on it is Ed Delahanty for out number 3. No runs, no hits, no errors. And after 2, it's Dublin 2, Texas nothing. Robbie, you need a shortstop. You need a shortstop, and this is human, so we can do that. You know your team better than anybody here. So you've got Blanco and Profar. Who do you like? Or is it Bianco? My eyes are getting tired. Whichever. Who do you want? Profar or Blanco? Profar? All right. A little bit of a higher fielding average and a little bit lower range for him. All right, so coming in is Jurickson Profar, playing short now for the injured Elvis Andrus. Rube Waddell, Ty Cobb, and Ed Delahanty due up for Dublin here in the third. Yu Darvish equal with Rube Waddell in strikeouts with 1. Darvish winds and fires to Waddell, who's hitting .147. Base hit into left for Waddell as David Murphy gets it into Profar. So Waddell aboard, and here is Ty Cobb. Ty Cobb is nothing for 1. Grounded to second, back in the first. Waddell, no speed, but yet takes a little lead off first. Yu Darvish with the 1-2 delivery to Cobb. Cobb swings. Fly ball, center field. Gentry has it in his sights and now in his glove. Waddell retreats to first, 1 away as the throw comes in to Jurickson Profar. At Delahanty now. Delahanty line to third, back in the first. Darvish's 0-1 delivery. Fastball. Delahanty swings. Fly ball to right. This one high, but not deep enough. Cruz has it on the track. 2 away. Napoleon Lajoie now. Fly to shallow center. Darvish kicks and delivers. 2-2 pitch. Fastball. And Lajoie base hit into left. Waddell rounding second as Murphy comes up with the ball. Waddell makes it to third. He's safe. The throw to Kinsler, and Lajoie is safe. Great play by the Nuff Seds. Waddell at third, Lajoie at second. 2 in scoring position for Big Dan Bruthers, the first baseman today. Grounded to second, but was safe on an error. And that error, I believe, was committed by Ian Kinsler. Darvish delivers the 1-2 to Dan Bruthers. Bruthers swings. This one routine to center field. Gentry, ranging to his left, makes the catch. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the third. Dublin 2, Texas nothing. And Chris Davis will lead it off here, followed by Yu Darvish and then Ian Kinsler. Chris Davis hitting .227, 11 home runs, 32 runs batted in. Rube Waddell has struck out 1. The 1-2 to Chris Davis. Davis, swing and a miss. Strike 3, strikeout number 2 for Rube Waddell. And here is Yu Darvish, who's just nothing, of course, because he's an American League pitcher. Waddell delivers, 0-2. Darvish, cut and a miss, strike 3. That is 3 strikeouts for Waddell, and maybe next time we should do a National League franchise, but it's a bit fun. Or we do an American League and, God forbid, do a DH. All right. And this is all for fun, anyhow. Back at the top of the order for Ian Kinsler. Kinsler singled up the middle back in the first. 1 hit for the Rangers, 3 for the Dubliners. Waddell's 3-0 delivery to Kinsler. Oh, and this one hits Kinsler right on the knee. Boos going up. You can hear Robbie Wartburg out there in the grandstands in dead center here at the ballpark at Arlington saying baseball for windows and trying to make it a boo. All right, so Kinsler at first, 2 down, and Craig Gentry grounded to short last time up. Waddell with a 1-1 delivery to Gentry. Gentry swings, fly ball, center field. Cobb has it in the sights, brings it down. No runs, no hits, no errors. 3 complete, and it's the Nuff Seds 2, Rangers nothing. And Steve Tate had mentioned that Action PC automatically adjusts cross era, so neither team with a real advantage. Kind of cool. As Robbie Wartburg says, come on up, give him a warning. Ken Castro giving it a laugher there. Shortstop Sherry McGee bunted to third. We should have Cousin Ken manage the Dubliners, but I'll be seeing emojis going all over the place. Cousin, if you want to do things like make substitutions or whatever, you certainly can do that. How about that? All right, here's Darvish's delivery to McGee. McGee swings, gets the bunt down. Darvish pounces on it like some Tex-Mex barbecue, and that's 1 away. Home run Baker, we know what he did last time. 2-run shot. All right, Ken likes that. The delivery to home run Baker, the 0-1 delivery. Baker swings, good bunt. And this is going to be an infield hit. Chris Davis kind of just running over there, but Baker has him beat. Yeah, didn't get to manage much today. And it's an all-star game, man. Have fun with it. All for fun. Runner aboard, 1 down. Home run Baker, 24 steals in real stats. Deacon McGuire last time was punched out by Yu Darvish. The only strikeout victim of Darvish. First pitch swinging, there goes Baker. The throw down, Kinsler's tag, and home run Baker is gunned down by Torrealba. 2 away, bases empty. McGuire back in the box. The 1-0. And Deacon McGuire sends this one to right field. Nelson Cruz has it short of the track for out number 3. Score remains 2-0 Nuff Seds over the Rangers as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Cloudy day here at Arlington. Winds are calm. Threatening rain. We're hoping the rain will hold off. Adrian Beltre, the number 3, 4, 5 hitters due up for Texas. Beltre flied out to right center back in the first. Rube Waddell, 3 strikeouts to his tally. The southpaw deals the 1-2 pitch to Beltre. Fly ball in the gap. This one deep. This one is off the wall. Cobb playing it off the carom. Beltre picking up the leadoff double. So potential first run for Texas in scoring position. And here's Robbie's best friend, Nelson Cruz. Nelson lined to third back in the first. Waddell checks the runner. Beltre at second, not known for his speed. Waddell delivers. Cruz swings, base hit. Cobb up with it. Beltre rounding third. And they're going to flash the stop sign there. So runners at the corners for Texas. Nobody out for David Murphy. David Murphy struck out in the second. So question, is David Murphy. I mean, Murphy's a common name, but he looks a little bit like Dale Murphy. I'm just wondering if they're related, Robbie. Waddell from the stretch. There goes Cruz, and base hit. Beltre will score on the Murphy RBI single as Delahanty comes up with the ball. Cruz will make third on the play. And the Rangers cut the Nuffsed's lead in half. It's now 2-1. For Jurickson Profar, in for the injured Elvis Andrus, who turned an ankle. Profar hitting 230, 4 home runs, 14 runs batted in. We've seen our guys with their head falling off in our Ned McGreevy League, and they stay in the game. Ah, well, there you go. The delivery to Profar, the 3-1 from Waddell. Profar lays off, and now Waddell in a bit of a jam here. Bases loaded, nobody out for Yorva Torrealba. Catcher last time for the Rangers flied to shallow left. You're unfamiliar with Dale Murphy? Dale Murphy, one of the good guys in baseball. Damn fine player. Not Hall of Fame, but pretty damn good player, Dale Murphy. One of the few Atlanta Braves I actually liked. All right, Torrealba waits for the Waddell delivery. McGuire sets the target. Waddell with the 1-2 pitch. And Torrealba swing and a miss. Big strikeout. So that's number 4 for Waddell. One down. Bases remain loaded. Waddell will now work from the stretch to Chris Davis, who struck out in the third. Waddell brings it home. The 2-0 delivery to Davis. And Davis chops this one to second. Lajoie to McGee. But Profar will break up that double play. Another run will score. Texas ties it up here in the bottom of the fourth. It's 2-2. The Nuffsed's 2-4-0. The Rangers 2-4-1. Each team is stranded 2. Davis at first, Murphy at third for pitcher Yu Darvish, who struck out last time and probably will this time. Waddell, no, the 2-0 pitch to Darvish. Let's see. Darvish swings, base hit to right, and the RBI puts the Rangers ahead 3-2 as Chris Davis will make third base. So how about that? Thought Darvish was going to be K'd, and instead, the base hit to right. Yu Darvish probably has never stolen a base in his life. Get rid of the DH and let these guys hit. All right, here's Ian Kinsler back at the top of the order for Robbie's Rangers. And he singled and was plunked in the third. From the stretch in the 0-1. Kinsler swings. Chopper to short. Cherry McGee has it, and he will go to Dan Bruthers. Side retired, but 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors. We've played 4, Texas 3, and Dublin 2. You know, I love all of baseball, but it's still much more fun to say these players from the 19th century dead ball, their names, than modern players. And Robbie, don't take any offense, I'd be saying it if they were playing a pirate squad too. There's something more fun about saying Tiernan and Bruthers and Lajoie and Cobb than it is to say Cruz, Murphy, and Torrealba. I don't know why that is. Probably because I'm in Egypt. Lefty Mike Tiernan steps in now against Yu Darvish. He flied to deep center. Darvish works now. And on the 3-2 pitch, Tiernan tried to hold up, but the man said he went around. So Yu Darvish picking up his second strikeout of the game, and here is Rube Waddell. Waddell singled, so each pitcher with a base hit in this game. Darvish fires it in. The 1-2, and Waddell gives it a ride to left. Could it be? It isn't. David Murphy makes the catch in the corner. 2 down for Ty Cobb. Robbie, considering in the metropolitan area where you live, hey, welcome back, PQ River. I don't think you'd want that sign, Robbie, because you probably might. You get plenty of females that would apply, but I would just say this: you probably want to have a good bank account. You live in a very large metropolitan area, so females would apply. They would apply for sure. But we can put it up there if you want, Robbie. We can put it right above this roof here, maybe above right field, or just like around where Home Run Baker hit that home run, or something like that, or right across this classy facade. The whole thing. Robbie needs a woman. Tinder may work better if it's populated. All right, Ty Cobb batting with 2 down and the base is empty. Darvish delivers. Payoff pitch to Cobb, and Cobb lays off and draws the walk. Now it gets interesting. Torrealba has an arm of 5 back there. But again, manager's not set. So set to default here, so you're probably not going to see a lot of steals. But when we play a home game, we'll have the Dubliners managed as a home team. Delahanty, he's lined to third and fly to deep right. Ty Cobb with 58 steals, actually. Ignore that again, that's taking it from the Ned McGreevy League. Darvish to Delahanty. There goes Cobb, the throw down by Torrealba, the tag by Kinsler, and Ty Cobb picks up the steal. Tying run in scoring position for the Ned McGreevy All-Stars. I think they told you to stay off Grinder, actually. PK River says he's retired on that bit. All right, Ty Cobb in second at second. From that for now. Gotcha. Well, it means you can play more baseball games and buy more baseball games or other sports games or whatever. Darvish now delivers to Delahanty. Cobb was going for third. The hit and run was on. Murphy up with it. Cobb rounding third. Delahanty bluffs going, and Cobb will score 2 outs, and the Nuffseds tie it up here in the 5th. So a little hit and run action, teaching these modern boys some old school baseball. Runner on first and 1 down. A Grinder reference. I think somebody mentioned to Robbie something about Grinder. I don't know. So, yeah. You don't want to go on there, Robbie. You don't want to go on there. Delahanty with 30 steals. And here is Napoleon Lajoie batting in the 3rd spot. Dan Bruthers waits on deck. Lajoie, RBI single back in the 3rd. Or no, I'm sorry, just a single. Darvish delivers with 2 down. There goes Delahanty, the throw. Kinsler tags, and Delahanty gets the steal. So the Nuffseds bring in the running game, but also had a brief lead in this game thanks to power. 3-3 your score here in the top of the 5th. Delahanty in scoring position now. Lajoie back in the box in the 0-1 from Darvish. Lajoie swings, base hit. Left field, David Murphy comes up with it. Delahanty is tearing around third, and he will score. And the Nuffseds go back into the lead. It is 4-3. Dublin Nuffseds over the Texas Rangers. This Rangers team, including the 2011 World Series appearance. And on my channel, these Rangers won the 2000 World Series, 11 World Series 2 years ago. Pip 99, I don't think I ever watched an action PC baseball game with modern players. Certainly haven't played one myself. Ken Castro says yes. Yeah, this is one of my plenty of fish still in business, says Todd B. Yeah, this is pretty much for me too. That's why that's why I'm glad Robbie's here. I know some of these players in the Rangers team, but like Profar, I've never heard of him before, so. All right, so here is Dan Bruthers. Bruthers was safe on an error back in the 2nd and flied to deep right center back in the 3rd. Lajoie at first. Napoleon Lajoie with 23 steals, both in the baseball history collection and in the Ned McGreevy League. Darvish works home to him now. There goes Lajoie, the throw, and they do get Lajoie. So Lajoie is caught stealing to end the inning. But the Nuffseds, 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's Dublin 4 and Texas 2009 to 2013 3. Craig Gentry, Adrian Beltre, and Nelson Cruz, the number 2, 3, 4 hitters for the Texas Rangers, due up. Ken Castro says, I played a game today with 2 teams from 1900 and 1903. It's wonderful that we're able to do that. Oh my God, exactly. Ken Castro, being hardcore, he says his dice will not roll after the 1968 season. Man after my own heart. Oh, and then Pib 99, of course, saying that in his greatest team tournaments, the 1905 Giants and the 1909 Pirates are in the Final Four. I want to see those teams. I want to see those teams meet up. We're close. We have the 1904 Giants and 1909 Pirates in the upcoming tournament. But that's going to be fun. As Todd B shoots across the bow and says that Ken still has dice from 1968. All right, so Craig Gentry, his last time up, flying to deep center. 0 for 2 against Waddell, the 2-1 fastball. And Gentry manages a little chopping ground ball. Bruthers will make the underhand toss to Waddell, covering to retire Gentry. 1 out. Big groans of disappointment here at the ballpark at Arlington, as Adrian Beltre steps in. Beltre doubled back in the 4th. Waddell with the delivery, the 1-0 pitch, fastball to Beltre. Beltre, solid base hit, stroked into left. Beltre started for second, but he's going to hold. Runner aboard, 1 down. So the tying run at first for Texas. And here's Nelson Cruz. He is lined to third and singled. Final Four, the 1909 Pirates versus the 1970 Orioles, and the 1905 Giants versus the 67 Cardinals. Tough. Boy, the Pirates Orioles, that's a close one. But I'm gonna, if I were a bet man, I'm gonna bet on the 1905 Giants versus those Cardinals. But that Pirates Orioles matchup, oof, that's gonna be a great one. So we want the Bucks and the Giants to win, so they face each other at the end. That's what we want. Beltre at first, Robbie Wartburg playing the organ. And that's all I'll say about that. Here's the delivery from Waddell, the 1-0. Cruz swings, fly ball. This one routine to left. Delahanty squeezes it. Out number 2, Beltre will get back to first. 2 away here for left fielder David Murphy. He's 1 for 2 against Waddell. Picked up an RBI in the 4th, scoring Adrian Beltre. Waddell to Murphy now in the 0-1 delivery. Murphy swings. Base hit. This one going for extra bases. Murphy's going to go for 2. Tiernan making chase there, or giving chase in right field as Beltre gets to third, and Beltre will score, and the Rangers tie it up in an RBI double by David Murphy. David Murphy going for 3. The throw gets cut off man Lajoie. Lajoie throwing to third. Baker waiting for the ball, the tag, and Murphy picks up the triple. So David Murphy, RBI triple, and the Rangers come back and tie it up 4-4. We've got a hell of a ball game here, baseball fans. I think the best one we've had so far was the 4-3 game in which the Nuffseds lost against the 1929 A's. And then we had that 1-0 affair against the 1934 Cardinals that we won. All right, Jurickson Profar batting. Go-ahead run at third in David Murphy. Profar again in for the injured Elvis Andrus, walked back in the 4th. Robbie B. very quiet about right now. Who's Boog Powell? Yeah, Boog Powell. From the stretch, the 0-2 delivery. Profar. This one, he looks at one painting the outside corner. But a big run for Texas. 2 hits, no errors. 5 complete, and we are knotted at 4. And enough seds will send up Dan Bruthers, Sherry McGee, and home run Baker. Yu Darvish has struck out 2, walked 1 in the game. And that walk was to Ty Cobb. So the number 4, 5, 6 hitters due up here for Dublin. So the Giants won game 1 over the 67 Cardinals. Christy Mathewson has given up only 2 runs in 4 tournament starts so far. Go Matty, the great Christy Mathewson. 2-2 now to Bruthers. Oh, Bruthers swing and a miss. So Yu Darvish picks up strikeout number 3. So trying to keep pace with Rube Waddell. And here is Sherry McGee. We haven't seen enough of Sherry McGee in the league. And once again, I'll say he should be in the Hall of Fame. He has bunted out twice. It's a sacrifice, actually, back in the first. Darvish delivers to McGee. Payoff pitch. And McGee lays off, and that is walk number 2 issued by Yu Darvish. And it brings up home run Baker. And Baker, 2-run shot back in the second. McGee at first has 37 steals. Darvish shaking off Torrealba, now has one he likes, toes the rubber, and the 1-1 from Darvish. Cut on fastball, base hit. David Murphy up with it. McGee rounds second. He'll make third on the play. And Baker holds first. Runners at the corners, 1 down. Darvish looking for the double play as Deacon McGuire steps in the box now. McGuire has struck out and flied out. Baker has speed on first. Darvish checks the runner. Good lead by Frank Baker. From the stretch, he throws over, and Baker's back. Darvish for the 2-2 pitch now to Deacon McGuire. Oh, in there, called strike 3. So McGuire looks at that one and goes back to the dugout. And for McGuire, a dugout would be a strange concept considering they sat on the bench. Mike Tiernan, nothing for 2. I want to check the Dublin roster. Can I do that? No, they're the visiting team. I can't look at that, can I? Yes, I can. I just want to see if my man made it in here. My dude. Yep, Mr. Kelly is in there. Okay, cool. I forgot if we picked King Kelly or not. I'm glad he's in here. All right. Mike Tiernan now batting with 2 down. Baker at first. McGee at third. Tied at 4 here in the top of the 6th. Darvish lets it go. Count even on Tiernan. Fastball. Mike Tiernan gives it a ride to right field. In the corner, Nelson Cruz. This one caught at the corner in foul territory. Side retired. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 2 men left. Go to the bottom of the 6th. We are tied at 4. Rube Waddell with 5 strikeouts and a walk will face Yorvit Torrealba, Chris Davis, and Yu Darvish. Torrealba has flied out and struck out. As Robbie Wartburg says, way to go, Cruz. Here's Waddell's 0-1 delivery. Fastball. And this one, base hit, taken on a hop by Ty Cobb. So Torrealba picks up the Rangers' 8th hit. And Torrealba, pretty darn slow out there. Let's get a picture here of good old Yorvit. There he is. And here's Chris Davis. So Davis, with an RBI in the 4th, scoring Nelson Cruz. Waddell brings it home. Oh, and Mitch Moreland in to pinch hit, and this one's going to go for extra bases. So Chris Davis's day is done as Tiernan chases this ball down, and Moreland going for 2. Torrealba, here's the play at second, and Mitch Moreland is safe. 2 in scoring position for Texas, and nobody out. Waddell in a jam here. Yu Darvish, will he stay in? Infield at the corners. Baker in at third. Brewler's in at first. Nope, Michael Young will come in to pinch hit. 311 average for Young. Young, extra base hit into right. That's going to score Torrealba. Moreland coming around third. He should score as Tiernan gives chase out there and right, way in the corner in this ballpark. 2 in. Michael Young is trying for 3. The throw from Tiernan cut off by Lajoie. The throw to Baker, the tag, and Michael Young is safe. RBI triple scores 2. It's 6-4 Texas over Dublin. Back at the top of the order now for the Rangers, and Ian Kinsler. Kinsler in the game has singled, was hit by a pitch, and grounded to short. Robbie Wartburg rooting hard for his Rangers. Waddell from the stretch, pitching with no one out, and the 1-0 or the 1-2 fastball. This one lined to McGee. McGee takes it on the hop, bobbling it, and holds on to the ball. Great play. It could be he was trying to snooker Michael Young into trying to tear for home. Young not buying it though. He'll stay at third. 1 down. Waddell now to face Craig Gentry. He's grounded out twice and flied out. Waddell from the stretch and the 0-2 delivery to Gentry. Gentry sends this to right field with 1 out. Tiernan has it, and tagging up is Michael Young. Here's the throw to the plate. This is going to be close. McGuire cannot get him. Michael Young scores run number 7. So how about it? These Texas Rangers ahead 7-4. Plating 3 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th. The Nuffseds plating 2 in the 2nd and 2 in the 5th. Adrian Beltre now bats with 2 down. And he is 2 for 3. He's flied out, doubled, and singled. Base is empty. Waddell with the 0-2 delivery to Beltre. And Beltre, base hit. This one for extra bases. This one gets down the line to left, and Beltre has a 2-out double. It may be that cousin Ken Castro is waiting because Waddell due up first when we go to the 7th. Waddell losing his mojo here. So Beltre at 2nd, and here's Nelson Cruz. Fly to left back in the 5th. Waddell brings it home. The 1-2 delivery. Fastball. Cruz swings, chopping ground ball to 3rd. Home run Baker has it. Over to 1st to retire the side. 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors, 1 left. We've played 6 here at Texas. And it's the Rangers 7 and Dublin 4. We'll see. I would think, oh, Robbie, you need a pitcher and a first baseman. So who's your pitcher? And they're both going up, so we'll go with Robbie first. As Pip 99 tells Ken, he still has his original Apodice too from 1975 with the yellow shaker. Oh, Robbie, you're on your phone. You want me to read your entire bullpen? Seriously? Okay. Robbie Ross, Matt Harrison, Derek Holland, Martin Perez. Those are your lefties. Right-handers, you got, and I'm just reading everybody because anybody can pitch. Joe Nathan, Tanner Sheppers, Neftali Feliz, Darren O'Day, Mike Adams, Alexio Gando, Mark Lowe, Frank Francisco, Tommy Hunter, Dustin Nippert, and Scott Feldman. And pitch anybody you want there, Robbie. Of course, it's not going to give the starters their whole pitch count, but yeah, whoever you want, man. This bullpen is larger than some 19th century teams. Jeez. Larger in number. Another big change in baseball. How about it? Shepherds. Tanner Shepherds will come in to pitch. And who's sitting there, Robbie? Is it going to be Hardy Richardson to pinch hit? Got you, cousin. So, Robbie, who's sitting down, Moreland or Young? I'm guessing Mitch Moreland, but I don't know. Somebody got to take a seat. Yeah, I don't recognize a lot of them either. Actually, as far as Texas pitchers, Joe Nathan, Ogando I recognize, Natali Feliz, I recognize him. Derek Holland and Robbie Ross. I think that's it. Those are the only ones I know from Texas. Who do you have at shortstop? Well, Robbie, let's see. Who do you have at shortstop? Got to back out of this. And I know it's going to yell. So it's Profar still in there. So Profar's your short, remember? But we'll go to your roster. All right. And as far as shortstop, all you have left is Andres Blanco. Because Jurickson could play short. He's in the game. Elvis Andrus was hurt. So you do have a double switch here. So let's get back to, yeah, I know it's missing fielders. Let me alone. All right, Robbie, now you got to pick somebody. So let's do a double switch here. So who do you want doing what where? I should import Nolan Ryan. If I could during a game, I would. That would be fun. I was going to do the earlier Texas Rangers with Nolan Ryan, but I figured for Robbie, he would probably want this edition of the Rangers. So you want Michael Young at short? You can do that. But that means Profar goes out. What are you going to do with Profar? Are you going to sit him and leave in Mitch Moreland? Wheels turning. Rangers ahead 7-4 here. This game brought to you by Tally Ho Playing Cards by A. Doherty. And I'm not kidding. So as a sleight of hand artist, these are the top of the line playing cards you can get. You can get them online. You can get them only in large cities. These are beautiful, beautiful playing cards. Good snap, good feel. So Tally Ho Playing Cards. Pick up a deck. Wash your hands before you play with them, though. You want them to last for a while. So there you go. Made by the U.S. Playing Card Company. So you're going to sit Profar. Okay, so you want... who's this guy you want again? Okay, so you want Michael Young at short. So he'll stay in the game. A new pitcher. You need a new pitcher first, Robbie. So who's your pitcher? Then we do the switch. So who's your pitcher? And actually, that's going to automatically make the decision for you, I believe. Okay, so the Schleppers guy. Shepherds, pitching. It's not, it's Shepherds. It almost sounds like a Yiddish thing. Actually, let me see. Can we bring in, what's his name? Michael Smith? Or Michael Young? Nope. So, where are you going to put, we got Shepherds as the pitcher. So that leaves Moreland as your first baseman. Todd Beast is playing 1977 Phillies versus the 82 Cardinals. Been a good one so far. All right. What's the score? All right. So Moreland is going to be your first baseman. No. I already have him as a pitcher. Moreland is the first baseman. There we go. All right. So a couple changes here for the Texas Rangers. Sheppers is pitching. Mitch Moreland at first. Rube Waddell's day is done. So we got to change our options to human here for a second. And we're going to bring in a pinch hitter, and it's going to be home run leader Hardy Richardson. Okay, here we go. So Hardy Richardson will pinch hit for Rube Waddell. Richardson's numbers: 293 average, 18 home runs, 72 runs batted in for him. Sheppers has finished his warm-up pitches. The line on him: 2.63 under an average, 4 wins, 2 losses, 1 save, 54 and 2/3 innings pitched. Walked 16, struck out 44. Sheppers deals now to Hardy Richardson. And here's the 1-2 pitch to Richardson. Richardson swings, clean base hit into left field. David Murphy up with it as Richardson rounds first. Back at the top of the order now, and Ty Cobb. Switch our preferences back to computer until or unless Cousin Ken wants to make a move. Richardson with 20 steals in the baseball history collection, 24 in the Ned McGreevy League. Ty Cobb, nothing for 2, including a walk. Todd B says it's 1-1 in his 72 Phils versus 82 Cardinals. Bottom of the 5th, Lurch versus Mura. Lonnie Smith went deep. Cards threatening again. Go Cards. All right, Richardson, good lead off at first. Sheppers deals, throws over. Richardson back ahead of Moreland's tag. Sheppers comes home with it now. Ty Cobb swings, extra base hit into right. No, Cruz up with it. Cruz making a fine stop in that play to confine Cobb to a single. So 2 on, nobody out for Dublin. Richardson at second, Cobb at first for Ed Delahanty. Delahanty, RBI single back in the 5th, scoring Ty Cobb. And at that point, tying up the game. 7-4, but Dublin threatening now with the tying run at the plate. Sheppers winds and fires the 2-0 delivery to Delahanty. Delahanty swings, fly ball down the left field line. Murphy in the corner and makes the catch. The runners retreat. So 1 down for Napoleon Lajoie with runners at first and second. Lajoie with an RBI in the 5th, scoring Delahanty. Sheppers with the 0-1 delivery now to Lajoie. Lajoie, a lazy fly ball to left. And this one will get down in the glove of David Murphy. So with 2 outs, we have Dan Bruthers now. Bruthers 0 for 3 in the game. Grounded to second, fly to right center, and struck out in the 6th. Todd B says the 82 Cardinals do annoying things. Steal bases, infield hits, move runners, create runs. I love that Cardinals team. A lot of small ball there with those guys. And they'll surprise you with a little bit of power, too. I mean, Lonnie Smith, not known exactly as a slugger. So the rally derby on for Ken Castro with 2 down, the delivery. Torrealba out to talk to Sheppers for a moment, back behind the dish. The 1-1 coming into Dan Bruthers' changeup. And Bruthers base hit into right field. Gentry up with it. Richardson will score. The throw to second. Bruthers is safe. Cobb comes in. Bruthers with a 2 RBI double. And Dublin back in at 7-6. And a little bit of 2-out thunder and lightning by the Ned McGreevies. So Dublin bringing in their shillelaghs out now. And here's shortstop Sherry McGee. Robbie Wartburg going up with a hand. And I would almost go up with a hand, Cousin Ken. And much as I love Sherry McGee, how'd he do today? I would bring in Hannes Wagner at this point. That way we're not wasting a shortstop, but it's up to you, my friend. Robbie, I'm waiting for your play here, buddy. 2 out, Brothers in scoring position, 2 in for the McGreevy Nuff Seds from Dublin here in the top of the 7th. Pitching change. Okay, Robbie, there you go. Screen coming up. And Ken going up with the glove as well. Pinch hitter, I would have called for that too. I would say Wagner, but it's your choice, buddy. I just figure shortstop for shortstop. But Ken, you know what you're doing. Okay, Robbie, who's your pitcher, buddy? Oh, and I know Mike Adams. That's another Rangers pitcher I know. Okay, Hannes, of course. And Robbie Wartburg going with Damon O'Day. Shepard's day is done. And Sherry McGee, his day also done. Not wasting any time here on the Dublin side of things. So Sherry McGee played himself a pretty good game. And that's going to bring in Hannes Wagner. So shortstop for shortstop. The line on Wagner, 355, 7 home runs, 100 runs batted in. 48 steals in this baseball history, 48 steals in the baseball history collection. 53 in the Ned McGreevy League. 2 down. Tying run in scoring position for Dublin. And O'Day has finished his warm-up tosses and ready to face the Flying Dutchman. And here is the wind. Payoff pitch to Wagner. Wagner fly ball to right. Cruz chasing this into foul territory. And great play by Nelson Cruz. 7th inning stretch time. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. And it's the Rangers 7, the Nuff Seds 6. And we're going to need a new pitcher. Good game here. You know, just to quote Tevye, if I were a rich man, I'd be doing these games all day, man, just for fun. All right, anyhow, I think we have our preferences both set to human at this point. Yep, we do. All right, so Cousin Ken, who's coming in as our pitcher? Well, I figure you've been busy, Ken, and I need to catch up too on your on the stack. So I know you haven't forgotten about the Spalding Tour. So basically, we have Walter Johnson, Christy Mathewson, Pete Alexander, and Olhas. Pete it is. All right. And I think we're leaving Wagner in. Richardson will sit, I'm guessing. And Wagner will be the new shortstop. All right. So Wagner into play short, and Grover Cleveland, Alexander to pitch. Alexander, 1.79 earned run average, 26 and 12, 2 saves, 337 innings pitched. He walked 57 and struck out 184. This is fun. Every game, says Todd, is like a chapter in a good book. Never know what's going to happen. Isn't that the truth, my friend? All right, David Murphy is 0-for-2, and he has a pair of RBIs. Scored Beltre in the 4th, and then he had a triple, scoring Beltre in the 5th. And that's where we stand. the great Grover Cleveland Alexander. Now, again, with Alexander, again, we do that age comparison. David Murphy didn't fight in probably the most brutal war in history, and this man did. And yet, at this time, Alexander, this picture is when he's I'm not sure if that's a Phillies or Cardinals cap. This might be later in his career. So, but even assuming that, right? I mean, just the years that wore on a man who also was a heavy drinker, suffered shell shock in the First World War, versus a kid that looks like he's barely out of high school. Pretty amazing. Robbie says it's funny in the game, and in our game it is. The weather's dicey, and it's actually about to rain down there in the Lone Star State, where Robbie is. All right, Murphy is 2 for 3. Alexander with a 3-1 delivery now to David Murphy. Murphy comebacker. Alexander off the mound onto Bruthers. Good, quick hands there by Alexander for the 1-3 put out and 1 down. Jurickson Profar now to face Grover Cleveland Alexander. He's walked and struck out. 21 hits in this game. Alexander with the 0-1 delivery to Profar. Profar, base hit into left field. Delahanty quickly gets it back to Wagner. Profar aboard, first time we've seen him today. Not a base stealer. And Yorva Torrealba. He has flied out, struck out, and singled. Alexander checks the runner. Old Pete brings it. There goes Profar. The throw down. Lajoie's tag. Don't know what he was thinking. 2 out. Torrealba batting with now with the bases empty. Really don't know what he was thinking. But that's baseball. That was like McGraw the other night trying to steal home on his own. I guess Profar fancied himself. He saw Ty Cobb there in center and said, watch what I can do. And Wagner at short, and it didn't quite work. Alexander deals the 0-1 delivery. Torrealba swings, base hit into right. So the caught stealing hurts the Rangers possibly a little bit. Tiernan gets it into Lajoie. 1 aboard, 2 down for Mitch Moreland, who came on to pinch hit, stayed in the game, playing first. RBI double back in the 6th. Torrealba at first, 1 down. Alexander with a 2-2 to Moreland. Moreland swings, base hit. Delahanty up with a Torrealba rounding second as Delahanty gets to this ball. The throw to third, Baker's tag, not in time. Runners at the corners, Texas threatening, and I know that if Robbie's paying attention, he should be putting up the glove by now. Darren O'Day at the dish. Is he going to bat against Alexander? Of course he's not. Let's go to the Texas roster. So I'll help you out here, Robbie, since you're probably looking at this on your phone. So you have left on your best Andres Blanco, Taylor Teagarden, Mike Napoli, Julio Bourbon, Josh Hamilton, and Giovanni Soto. Who do you like? And I hate the fact that the Giovanni was anglicized there. It's not how you spell it. I wish people wouldn't anglicize their names. Be proud of your heritage, man. Mike Napoli, right? Oops, there's Mike Napoli's card. So Napoli will come in for O'Day. Okay, back to game action. Numbers on Mike Napoli, 274, 27 home runs, 66 runs batted in. Rangers threatening here in the bottom of the 7th. Runners at first and third, Torrealba at third, Moreland at first. Alexander working from the stretch, 2 down. And Napoli swings on the first pitch, long fly ball to left. Delahanty in the corner, and that does it. So the Rangers threaten but do not score. We go to the top of the 8th. It's Texas 7, and enough said 6, and Texas needs a pitcher. Yeah, this is true. On the Beatles Eternally channel, there's a post-1940 team on here. Can you believe it? Adams pitching and leave Napoli in. All right. Mike Adams to pitch. Can't leave Mike Napoli in, unfortunately, because we're not allowing replacements in any position, so I think Mike Napoli sits. All right, home run Baker, 3 hits today. 2-run homer in the second, bunt single in the fourth, and a single in the sixth. Baker will be followed by Deacon McGuire, although McGuire hasn't done much today. May see a pinch hitter for him and for Mike Tiernan. So we'll see. Deep, deep bench here for Dublin. All right, so Adams, Mike Adams, the numbers on him, 2.77 earned run average, 3 wins, 3 losses, 1 save. He's walked 11 and struck out 35. Adams fires the 0-1. Baker is not going to go 4 for 4. Gentry running in quickly, making a nice running catch. 1 down. Here's Deacon McGuire. See if Cousin Ken would like to go for a pinch hitter here for McGuire. McGuire in the game has struck out twice and flied out. 8th inning action here. Texas threatened, but did not score. 7-6. Rangers bunching their runs in the 4th, 5th, and 6th. 3 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th. Dublin has scattered 2 in the 2nd, 2 in the 5th, 2 in the 7th, which means they're due for 2 in the 9th. Buck Ewing. All right, Buck Ewing. Wouldn't have to do this except where this box is, so I have to do it this way instead of just click, which is a bit of a drag, but that's all right, it's fun. All right, there you are, Buck. Buck in there, Deacon McGuire is out. Buck Ewing hitting .273, 7 home runs, 66 runs batted in. And 65 runs batted in that McGreevy league. The only disparity really between the two, and that's just because he's getting more at bats, but again, I love how well this engine plays, especially in a very much a what-if thing. All right, I'm going to leave this at human and human, just in case, with Tiernan on deck. Adams with the 0-2 delivery. Fastball. Buck Ewing chops this to short. Profar, the error, bobbling the ball, and Ewing is aboard, and Buck Ewing has speed. 26 steals and 31 in the McGreevy league, and that's Mike Tiernan now at bat. He's flied out twice and struck out. Let's see what Cousin Ken wants to do. Tying run at first here in the top of the 8th. So a big E6, could this come back and bite the Rangers on the bum? Hit and run, and now Robbie up with the hand. Okay, Robbie, a pitch out. Okay. This should be interesting. All right. Adams deals. And here's the pitch. There goes Ewing. Torrealba throws down. And Ewing is gunned down, so 2 away. Big play. Tiernan back in there. The count 1-0 on him. Here's the pitch. And Tiernan, this one called strike. Oh no, cut and a miss. Called strike 3. We go to the 9th. It's 7-6. And Dublin needs to catch ya. So left to catch. Well, we could put you. Just want to leave Ewing to catch. Cousin. Or we have King Kelly, not rated very highly. No, he's not rated highly defensively at all. And Mike Grady. Ewing stays in to catch. I thought so. Yeah. Ewing. I'm going yeah at the game. All right, Buck Ewing will stay in to catch. And Robbie Wartburg putting up the hands. Robbie asking, it's the bottom of the 8th. Pete Alexander has worked an inning and has given up 3 hits. Disregard the hand. All right. That's what she said. Okay, anyhow, back to it. All right, Ian Kinsler, we're back at the top of the Rangers order, be followed by I was going to say Gary Gentry. Who is this guy? Craig Gentry. And Adrian Beltre. Kinsler, 257 on the year. He is singled, was hit by a pitch, ground to short, and line to short. Alexander fires it in. First pitch swinging, base hit. Texas Rangers picking up their 15th hit. Kinsler aboard for Craig Gentry. Gentry, RBI sac fly back in the 6th, scoring Michael Young. So Frank Baker playing in at 3rd. Alexander into the wind in the 1-2 delivery to Gentry. And this one waved at and missed. Strike out. So Alexander hands up the K, and here's Adrian Beltre. Todd B says he hasn't seen these many rubber gloves since he visited his proctologist. Nice. Beltre with 3 hits on the day. So he is 3 for 4, a double or 2 doubles and a single. Robbie Wartburg going up with the hand again. Let's see what he wants to do here. Ooh, Robbie playing some dead ball here, huh? With Ian Kinsler. Let's see. Kinsler with 18 steals in the baseball, or in the Steve Tate 5-year file. Let's see what happens. Alexander with a check of the runner. He winds, throws over. Keeping Kinsler honest, or trying to. Robbie going hit and run here. There we go. Alexander delivers. Kinsler off to the races. Ewing, and the hit and run was in motion. And Delahanty has this ball at the track. Kinsler gets back to first, and that will be out. Number 2 for Nelson Cruz. Nelson Cruz making some nice plays out there in right field today for the Texas 9. And he's 1 for 3 today with a single back in the 4th. Alexander delivers. Robbie says back to normal. The 1-0. Nelson Cruz chopping ball to Hannes Wagner. Wagner has it, and he will go to first to retire Cruz. The runs, 1 hit, no errors, a man left. We go to the 9th. It's 7-6. And I'm guessing we're going to see a pinch hitter for our Grover Cleveland Alexander. Then we get back to the top of the order, Ty Cobb and Ed Delahanty. Robbie, I guess, is going to bring in his closer here, so we'll do that first. I'm guessing that's what he's doing. 10 watching this nightcap here. Cool. Nathan to pitch. All right, Joe Nathan will come in and try to shut it down here. Big closer, Mike Adams is done. Looking at Joe Nathan's number, a 2.09 under an average, 5 wins, 4 losses, 40 saves, 64 2/3 innings pitched. Walked 18, struck out 76. Wait for Cousin Ken to make a decision here on Alexander, whether we want to go pinch hit. 7-6 here in the top of the ninth. Rangers holding on to this lead. Nice ballpark, Robbie. It's too bad when they didn't design this. They didn't design it with a retractable roof. I love that center field facade. I love the fact that it has the supports like the old-time ballparks. That was a nice-looking park you guys had. No disrespect, I've seen your new ballpark, and it's just not as nice-looking. That's a nice-looking baseball park there. Used for soccer, Robbie tells me now, and other things. I can understand, though, in Texas on a July day, it would have been brutal to watch a game, in an open park like this. I get it. Cousin Ken is really quiet. They could put a roof on, yeah, but I'm talking about when the architect designed it. It's like they should have designed it. It's like, okay, we need a retractable roof on this thing. I mean, yeah, it was already built structurally. They probably couldn't have. Yeah, no worries, Cousin Ken. I just didn't, that's why I was waiting. I didn't think you were going to let Alexander bat. Oh, no problem. No problem. Big boy's room as it is. I think from now on, thanks to Todd B, we're going to say, hey, we're going to refer to that now as the proctologist glove or something. Yep. We need something a little bit more clever than my trying to figure out what color that is. Demontreville to pinch hit. Okay, we're going to see one of Clinton's players coming in. Gene Demontreville to come in to pinch hit now. So Pete Alexander's day is done. The line for Demontreville, 295 average, 2 home runs, 75 runs batted in for him. And Joe Nathan coming in trying to get the save here. The righty has the sign from Yorva Torrealba. The line and the 1-2 pitch to Demontreville. Demontreville sends this a lazy fly ball to left. And David Murphy has it for out number 1. Back at the top of the order now, and Ty Cobb. Ty Cobb is grounded out, fly to center, walked and singled. Nathan has the sign from Torrealba, the wind, and the 1-1 to the Georgia Peach. Fastball, and Cobb sends this little liner to center, and Gentry makes it 2 outs. So should Dublin lose this one, they are 2-2 in these little matchups. And Ed Delahanty, it's up to him. Delahanty with an RBI back in the 5th, scoring Ty Cobb. And it looks like the AI has just overridden Robbie Wartburg, as Neftali Felice is in there now. So that's interesting. So I guess Joe Nathan is done. Neftali Feliz delivers the 0-2 to Delahanty. And Texas holds on to win this one. Neftali Feliz coming in and striking out Ed Delahanty. The Texas Rangers of 2009 to 2013, 7. And the Ned McGreevy Nuffseds of Dublin, 6. Fun game. Fun game. 25 hits in this game. At one time, Dublin only held the lead. Well, they held the lead twice. So 2 runs in the second, and then Texas came back with 3 in the fourth, and then 2 more for Dublin in the top of the fifth. Texas tied it in the bottom of the fifth, and then added 3 more in the sixth. Dublin with 2 in the seventh. Close game, but pretty good. Good stuff. But Texas beating a very, very tough team here. Home run Baker for Dublin goes 3 for 4 with 2 runs batted in. Highlights for Texas. Michael Young 1 for 1 with 2 runs batted in. David Murphy 2 for 4 with 2 runs batted in. Adrian Beltre 3 for 5 and 2 doubles. That was a nice one. Tough loss for our boys. Good battle. Absolutely. So look at pitching really quickly. And Yu Darvish gets the win. Neftali Feliz gets the save. Waddell handed the loss, and we don't get any. I don't even know why I'm looking at this. We just see who the game-winning RBI was. Michael Young, and we had an injury, and that was Elvis Andrus. So Texas winning this game, and without Andrus in the lineup after he turned an ankle. So there you go. All right, so here's how it stands. Dublin lost to the 1929 A's, beat the 1970 Orioles, beat the 1934 Cardinals, and lost a close one to the 2019 or 2009 to 2013 Rangers. Good stuff, and that is it. So tomorrow we can go a little bit longer with the baseball than we can tonight. Although, can we go much longer? It's 3 hours and 37 minutes. So Robbie, it is only 12:08. It's 11:18 your time. Are you gonna do baseball for Windows game? Well, that's weird. We have 7 concurrent viewers and 6 likes, and that was the score of our game, 7-6. That's fun. I'll wait to see what Robbie decides here, because it's getting late for me, man. So if you make a decision here, oh, Robert Woodberg, that would be nice. Because you got some folks in here probably want some more baseball. So Robbie is not doing a game tonight. He's got storms rolling in, and he doesn't want a power outage in the middle of the stream. Okay, guess that's done. Let me check and see if anybody's doing anything elsewhere before we close it up. Close up shop. Close up the ballpark for the night. Nope, we do not. So, oh, that looks cool. Might have to check out this trailer for a game called Ravens Watch, but nobody else is live. So, guys, roll one up on your own and have a lot of fun. And thank you. We went long. I won't be able to thank everybody because I can't see everybody, man. So thank you to Robbie Wartburg, Todd B, Cousin Ken Castro, Pib99. We always thank Midlife Crisis, of course, because he's special. PQ River was in for a while with us. I know the Cubs to Bears was in here, dropped a bomb about Cousin Ken throwing in the towel. JT Dutch was with us. Aaron Reed. Big Clue. Legends Sports Universe hung out with us for a while tonight. Clee Baseball Fan 879. And that's as far back as I can go. I think we got everybody. I hope we got everybody. So thank you guys so very much. And have a great Monday, and we'll see you tomorrow evening, a little bit later than we'll be closer to our normal time tomorrow night. And once Cleveland loses, we will just play out the rest of the McGreevy League, and then we will import. Well, we'll figure out if we have any sort of ties we have to do, and then we'll set up a mini World Series between Manchester and whomever. All right. I hope you guys had fun tonight. I know I did. Robbie says he does need to have a meeting with the Action PC AI in the morning. Where it's getting sacked for that. Oh, you mean for the for what's his name trying to steal that one? Who's that guy that tried to steal? I forget his name already. All right, guys. Thank you so much. It means so much that we hung out. And yesterday's baseball chat was a lot of fun. We had like 20 people in here at one time, which was so cool. Oh, for putting in Neftali Feliz? All right. Well, you go ahead and sack him there, Robbie. All right, guys. Until next time, see you around the batting cage. Thank you so much. Good night.